Gang, gang, gang. If you ain't squatted up, we can never be the same. And they got my back like book bags in first grade. I got fire flows, lighters up, cause I'm bringing propane. Bass knock in your head, we can call it cocaine. And I'm gaining the money's lovely and fame. But in this city, we claiming this for the power we aiming. So where your crew at? Cause mine stay ready, but you knew that. And we kill them like Freddy. That's a get up, we don't ever give up. Turn the shit up, this the soundtrack to life. Oh, 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 to life, to life. Oh, 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 to life. That's a get up, we don't ever give up. Turn the shit up, this the soundtrack to life. Oh, 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 to life, to life. Oh, 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 to life. Rolling up in the Bugatti, you call me weird, but don't call me body. City is ours, and look what we started. So where is the money? I'm coming to audit. Chris, we got it. Bars, we got it. Respect, we got it. You know that we don't play. At the end of the day, there's nothing you can say because we made it out the mud now. We finally touched down. Turn the lights off, but you can still see that buzz down. Squad, squad, squad. When you see me, better not raise your hand for the applaud. That's a get up, we don't ever give up. Turn the shit up, this the soundtrack to life. Oh, 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 to life, to life. Oh, 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 to life. That's a get up, we don't ever give up. Turn the shit up, this the soundtrack to life. Oh, 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 to life, to life. Oh, 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 to life. Gang, gang, gang. If you ain't squatted up, we can never be the same. And they got my back like book bags in first grade. I got fire flows, lighters up, cause I'm bringing propane. Bass knock in your head, we can call it cocaine. And I'm gaining the money's lovely and fame. But in this city, we claiming this for the power we aiming. So where your crew at? Cause mine stay ready, but you knew that. And we kill them like Freddy. That's a get up, we don't ever give up. Turn the shit up, this the soundtrack to life. Oh, 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 to life, to life. Oh, 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 to life. That's a get up, we don't ever give up. Turn the shit up, this the soundtrack to life. Oh, 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 to life, to life. Oh, 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 to life. Rolling up in the Bugatti, you call me weird, but don't call me body. City is ours, and look what we started. So where is the money? I'm coming to audit. Chris, we got it. Bars, we got it. Respect, we got it. You know that we don't play. At the end of the day, there's nothing you can say because we made it out the mud now. We finally touched down. Turn the lights off, but you can still see that buzz down. Squad, squad, squad. When you see me, better not raise your hand for the applaud. That's a get up, we don't ever give up. Turn the shit up, this the soundtrack to life. Oh, 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 to life, to life. Oh, 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 to life. That's a get up, we don't ever give up. Turn the shit up, this the soundtrack to life. Oh, 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 to life, to life. Oh, 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 to life. gang, gang, gang. If you ain't squatted up, we can never be the same.
Good morning.
And they got my back like book
Welcome in
bags in first grade. I got fire flows like this up cause I'm bringing propane. Bass knocking your head, we can call it rocaine. And I'm gaining the money's lovely and fame. But in the city, we claiming it.
As we'll be playing Road to the Show, so sit back, relax, and strap it down. It'll be White Sox baseball coming your way. Road to the Show, playing shortstop, batting third.
About to get started here. And today's starter, Lucas Giolito. But Chris, he hasn't exactly been stellar here on his home mound.
Welcome in. This is early morning swing session on the Rick Dog Network. As we'll be grinding it out and Road to the Show. I know it's Saturday morning and everybody's hungover. But if you're up early, join along as we'll be talking White Sox baseball as they're getting it going a little bit. We'll be talking NBA playoffs as things have shifted a little bit as they've been known to do. As here we go in the early morning action. Good fastball starts me off inside. 0-1. 1-0 bad guys. We've been playing well here, Road to the Show. Ooh, as we continue along. In my rookie season, it's a full rookie season now. I got called up a couple months into my second season in the minors, and I've been hitting really, really well. I started off pitching not so well, or just struggling a little bit, but now that's starting to turn around. So the two-way sensation, the switch-hitting shortstop for your Chicago White Sox, says it's starts it off with a grounder to first. Nothing going here early on. Thank you for joining me on the network as it's White Sox and Guardians. White Sox and Guardians. Got to get used to saying Guardians, right? I like the name. I was a big fan of the Indians and the name and the Chief Wahoo. I didn't really want to see it go anywhere, but understand the way things are going and understand it's not that big of a deal. So it's just a name. Move on. They picked a pretty good one, I felt like. Guardians of the Galaxy. They could really run with that one. I'd figure at some point they'd start changing their uniform and their colors, but I don't know if they're allowed to do that. So it's 3-0 bad guys as I come up here in the bottom of the fourth. Oh,
and that one fouled off.
Has me swinging at everything right now. I gotta concentrate just a little bit.
Nope. Next offering misses, and the count even 1-1. 1-1.
Come on, let it fly right here.
There's a shot. Looks like a base hit. As I'm monkeying around with my projector. I'll just stick with the base hit. Thank you. Smooth. Nicely done.
Yasmani Grandal up to hit. He's 0 for 1.
So take a little lead off. I'll probably fast forward. We're down by 3. I don't want to be that guy, right?
Base is empty, 1 away.
Speaking of that guy, how about Luis Roberts with a shot to the moon last night as I posted in my Facebook Good Guys Wear Black group. To the moon, Alice. That ball was absolutely smooth struck and out onto Lansdowne Street. It was the White Sox and Red Sox on Apple TV yesterday. I'm sure some people weren't able to figure out how to get on there and watch it. I watched it. I watched the beginning of it and then was passing out as they were winning the game late. But I was awake for Roberts hit the ball onto Lansdowne Street over the Green Monster. Very smooth stroke. I was watching it kind of with the sound down, so you didn't hear that explosion of the ball, which I talked about it a couple days here on Twitchlandia. that when he hits the ball, I went to the game, he hits the ball makes that special sound that you know you have a special player on your hand. It just exploded, and it was a soft, smooth swing. It didn't even look like he hit it that hard with the sound down, and then all of a sudden the ball just kept going into the night. So Luis Roberts on national television, starting to make a little name for himself, which he deserves it. He's a superstar player. He needs to stay healthy, obviously. But the sky is the limit for him. He doesn't really look like it, but he's a strong. I mean, I guess he does look like it, but he doesn't look as strong, you know. He's like Bo Jackson type strength and speed and grace in outfield. So I know I'm comparing him to baseball royalty there, but I really think that's the type of player that he is. So we'll see. I could be wrong. Sorry, I'm playing with stuff here. Trying to move the camera.
Next offering finds the zone, and the count is full.
It really looks like these hitters have been in between with their timing today.
Luis Roberts, it was good to see him get the job done. As I get a walk on national television, and that was the big blow. And the White Sox have won, more importantly, the White Sox have won 4 in a row. So they went on a couple weeks there. It felt like they won 1 or 2 games. They lost 8 in a row. They lost 11 to 12, all this good stuff. And then all of a sudden they pick up 1 from Anaheim. They sweep the Cubs in the Crosstown Classic, and then they go on national television. So the last 3 games have felt kind of like playoff atmosphere, right? Because we're thirsty for it. We need that type of experience, you know. Because last year it felt like we got into the playoffs for the second time and just got worked by a veteran team. We need to feel like that veteran team when we get into the playoffs. So, you know, we'll see. I think these tough games early on in this early stretch maybe make them stronger, but time will tell because they still have injuries and they still have to battle through here. We'll see. As they have a few guys out, and Andrew Vaughn just went down on IL as I couldn't lay off it. Fouls it off. We'll see if the Sox could bounce back and get back over 500 and make a run. You know, I think everybody understands that they're going to turn it around and play a little better. But the question is, are they going to actually get better in pressure situations? You know, learning to play station to station when you need it. Especially right now, it's freezing in Chicago, so that's been part of the downfall, because they haven't been able to generate any runs. Everybody's trying to hit a home run because everybody's very capable of it. But when it's 39, 40 degrees outside, you know, it's just not going to happen. So you're going to have to learn how to play that type of ball, especially when you get into the playoffs. It's the weather. You're going to can't rely on the long ball. And then they've been playing better defense, which has been the big problem. The terrible defense from guys playing out of position has put pressure on the rest of the club. So the injuries to the bad defense, to the pressure on the defense, and now that puts pressure on offense. Everybody hitting 5-run home runs. It looked terrible there, but now they're turning it around. Here, you know, Tim Anderson finally in the lineup every day. Luis Roberts being in the lineup every day. Those are 2 fresh young bats, you know, that allows the veterans to get themselves, you know, get themselves going as the weather heats up here. You say, we've had like 1 game where it was nice. So I think that's going to change, right? I think the Sox are going to ramp it up here, folks. So I was preaching. I was nervous, but because they were playing bad baseball. You know what bad baseball looks like, especially in this city. And they were playing that loser mentality baseball. So they finally snapped out of it. I think that's a part of having a good manager and a good veteran leaders, right? So here comes Kopech onto the mound. One of the guys who's going to be turning around for the White Sox. It's going to be Kopech Cease and Lucas Giolito, the young 3 arms who all throw close to 100 miles per hour and have Cy Young type stuff. So if those guys, and then Velasquez, huge game yesterday. You'll get 5 innings, but 5 solid innings from your 4th or 5th starter. That's good stuff. So if he could continue, I'm going to take a pitch as I'm trying to switch my
I think
music
it's
in my
real
ear. It's
critical,
been,
and he's got it.
I got
Ricky Fuentes
terrible
stands in now and lets that one
talk
go
show.
for a strike.
Not terrible. It's good, but not for this.
Next
Oh, and
offer,
2.
he's in for a
Oh,
strike.
brother, I'll
Hey, by
step
the
up.
way, Chris,
Yes, John?
Thank you for joining in. We're
Happy
talking White
birthday.
Sox baseball
Oh, thank you.
right now, as they won 4 in a row.
the pitch.
How about that? After they lost about 20 in a row there, no, it felt like it. They lost 8 in a row. They went on they lost 11 out of 12. A lot of injuries, a lot of excuses, and I'm
Stays alive.
hammering him foul. Thank you for joining in on the Rick Dog Network as we have an early morning swing session here on the Rick Dog Network. I'm 0-2. Tries to paint.
Really good take.
Good eye. This guy has been my nemesis. Look, I feel like I've only been up for about a half a season. I felt like I've faced Cleveland 38 times already. Here we go. That's 2-2. Can the Sox get it going here as the weather gets going? I think they will. I think their offense. You saw Luis Roberts, who I have weird comparisons. When I first saw him, he reminded me of a much more talented, maybe, because a Mike Cameron type of ball player. But the more and more you see him, he's better. You know, even in the outfield, as good as Mike Cameron was in the outfield, he's better. I won't say that he's still young, but I think offensively he has the potential to be, I don't know, just a little bit better. He's starting to remind me, he's got super talent, super strength. So we'll see. He showed it off yesterday as he hit the ball onto Lansdowne Field. And he made it look very easy. Yeah, way back, but I think that's going to hang up. So good at bat. It's a hang with him for the Rick Dog Network as we're talking Luis Roberts. So I have his jersey hanging behind me. I think he's got a chance to be a superstar with him and Tim Anderson. And then you're just hoping for, Eloy to stay healthy and be a power hitter. Hopefully eventually put him in his right spot, DH spot. He's going to keep getting hurt, man. This is too big. So, the Sox have some young potential with the young pitching. I told you, couldn't hold back. Giolito, Cease, and Kopech. We got something brewing here, so it's exciting. You want to get going here as the weather gets going. So I'm in an easy ground ball. He's got me. 1-0 good, guys. Trying to get warmed up here early this morning. Here in Chicago, it's 6:06 on Saturday. So it was good to see the Sox win 4 in a row yesterday against the Boston Red Sox in beautiful Boston, beautiful Fenway. It's always fun to play there. Gives you a very Wrigley feel to it, so we love going there. And then it's always great to see one of your young guys perform on Apple TV, on national television, which the Sox have found themselves on a few times here. So things are changing on the south side. You can feel good, positive vibes, even though still got work to do. 2-1. As 1-0 good, guys, here, bottom of 5. Ooh, that was a good pitch. We're playing road to the show. I'm a switch hitting shortstop for the White Sox, and I do pitch as well. And that's 3-2. As Yasmani Grandal on deck. I'm seeing if I could get on for him so he could do some 2-out damage. Let's see what happens here. Good pitch. Fouls it off. 3-2 still. I'll try to step out. Just trying to throw him off. As it's 1-0 good, guys. Here's the pitch. Hey, way back. He doesn't even move out there. He looks up. And that ball's gone. It's a 2-0 ball game. Yes. As you see the fireworks in beautiful Comiskey Park. Hi-ya! On him. Just had to wait back. Just got to wait for it. We're off to a good start this morning. Bam! Beautiful. Look at it. The hands way back. He knew it right away. Everybody knew it. Look at the pitcher. He was F-U-ing me. Look, he said F you as he walked by. I heard him. As you see the launch angle. It's 2-0. Good guys. Welcome in to the Rick Dog Network. Now we have a defensive situation. 2 on, 1 out. We're on top of 6. There's a shot. Nice play. Backhand, bare hand. Whoa! I was ready to rack him up. So we got a runner.
Well, that's great hustle out of the box to get down the line.
Stepping in is the switch.
All right, we fast forward here. Runner on first, 2 outs. Thank you for joining in. So we're hitting bombs here early morning. Ooh, good pitch. 1-0. As I'll switch around and bat the other way. As a network, feeling good early this morning. White Sox won 4 in a row. Turning it around. So it'll be 1 more. 2 more shitty days here in Chicago. 1, we got a barbecue here that I have to go to. It's going to be shitty. And then tomorrow's Mother's Day. It's going to be shitty, and I don't know what I'm swinging at. He gone. Run. Hustle it out. And Monday, it's supposed to be 80 degrees. Here we go, people. Watch out, Chicago. There's going to be a lot of people shot on Monday and Tuesday. It's going to be 86 degrees. I'm so sorry to joke about that. Duck and hide. It's unfortunate, but yeah, the numbers go up when it gets warm here the first couple days. People have been cooped up for so long that bad things happen when it gets warm and there's drunk people. And so you got to hang in there, Chicago. Put the guns down and grab the sticks. Go play Grand Theft Auto or something. Right? How did they win this game? What happened here? We gave up frickin' dirt. Oh, brother. We'll just move on from that one. I'm just kind of kidding. Chicago, still a beautiful place when it's warm. Unfortunately, the hood gets going. The numbers go up. And they can't wait to report on it, right? Oh, these many people got shot like all in one freaking neighborhood. Now all of Chicago is the worst place to be. It's not. Come to Chicago. You'll be fine. I'll take you out. I don't drink anymore, but I'll show you a good time. I'll show you some good spots where you could stumble around drunk and not worry about it. Right there. There's a good spot. Right on that concourse where all the drunkards, right where that shot you saw. That's the drinking section at the cell. Right field, that's where the drinkers hang out. Home plate is where the family section is. I figured it all out now. Anywhere in the bleachers, it's acceptable to yell and do anything you want. Left field, it's a little bit more family, like it's more your diehard Sox fans. Closer to center and right, you get your Wrigley Field types. That's where the business happens. That's the hookup zone, as I like to call. I went to the bathroom right there one time, and I left my girlfriend out. And I came out, there's like 4 dudes surrounding her. I was like, that's my bad. I should know better than leaving her in this zone. Everything, it's my bad. Rookie mistake. But that's the spot right there, right where you saw it. Welcome in. Where it's going to be warm in Chicago. Hanged. We'll get through these first couple days. Everybody let loose and have a good time. Don't do anything stupid. Don't become a statistic. Get drunk and pass out like everybody else. And do it all over again the next day. It's going to be 86. Oh, blow it on. That's well hit. I don't think I got enough of it. The crowd comes up to their feet. We'll get him over to third, I feel like. Yes. Sacrifice fly. So the weather starts to get nice in Chicago. The Sox will start to play a little better because they have a power hitting club. And if you've never been to, what is it called now? Guaranteed Rate Field. And that Wrigley, too. If it's cold and the wind's blowing in, it's not a fun place to play. It's a pitcher's park. And at the cell, the winds swirl because that's the way they made the park. Ooh, that's well hit. I don't think I got enough of it, though. Back at the track. Looks up. He makes the grab. As he gave it a ride. But when it's cold, not a fun place to play at the cell. But when it gets warm and it gets humid, the ball flies out of the park. It's been a hitter's park for a very long time. So, you know, for a long time, the Sox have built their team around that, and we've always hit a lot of home runs. So this team is a young team, and it's going to be no different. So, you know, as we struggle early, they'll get hot. As the weather gets warm, the key for the Sox is they're going to have to figure out how to win without hitting home runs, because at the end of the season, it gets cold again. As it's 2-2, nobody out, bottom of the 8th. Here's the clutch performer. I'll take a timeout. Sorry to stall you, but I'm telling a story, and this guy's, I could tell he's nervous on the mound. I could see it in his shoes, because that's all I could really see from over here. Ooh, nasty. 0-1, I lied. I faced this guy before. He's nasty. So the weather will get warm. The Sox will get warm. Can we figure out how to win when it gets cold, station to station? So they got a lot of work to do. And they got work to do just to get back to 500. And that's a good pitch. Just misses. He's angry about it. I'll step out just to piss him off some more. I think he's going to come at me. Welcome in, talking Sox baseball. I ain't talking anything else until it gets deeper into the season. I may, if some big things happens, I'll go into it. But it's a funny thing about baseball. Usually I tend to hear, I don't know, this is the way I've been. That's a good pitch, 2-2. It's 2-2, bottom of 8, 1 on, stepping out again. Usually follow your team until it starts getting deeper into the season. Around All-Star break, you start paying attention to what's going on, and who's getting hot, and what's the action.
Here comes a pitch.
That's a ball, 3-2. The crowd gets on their feet as the young sensation here in the bottom of the 8th digs in. And then you start paying attention to what everything else is going on in the league, and the playoffs come around. Pitch. Oh, swung out of my shoes. It's a center cut changeup. So we'll allow the White Sox to take us on that journey this year and see if we could follow along. I'm not going to do it. As I shanked it, the center fielder's running, and he's going to make the catch. Couldn't get the job done here late in the bottom of the 8th. Usually I do. It was a good at-bat. And these guys, man, Cleveland with another win. Whatever. Handshake. Nobody likes you guys, Guardians. I made you change your name for the love of God. Sorry. Look at that's a tough game. But I'm playing pretty well. I've hit some bombs early in the morning. I think I'll probably be pitching pretty soon. So stick around on the Rick Dog Network. We've been jamming out for about a half an hour here. I'll stay on for about another hour and a half or so. But end up topping out at about 2-3 hours. Probably not good for my numbers, but I don't care. It's all I could give you, people. It's all I got in me. I think until then, I'll be playing for a couple hours, and then I usually jump off and trying to get better at marketing myself so people could see the Rick Dog Network. I think we have some good stuff to offer here, so please follow along. I only have like 23, 24 followers, which is cool with me. Every morning I end up having somebody jump on and chime in and either heckle or, which I love to. I could take it pretty well. I don't mind making fun of myself. As we're on a bit of a skid here. I can't do much more there. We need video analysis of what's happening here. Look at my blue outfit. As we go. As I hope it's not a day game in Minnesota. I can't see the ball there. Here we go. Perfect. I'm pitching. Try to stop this losing streak we got going on here. Thank you for joining. Early morning swing session. We talked White Sox that first half an hour. So I haven't been watching, but I've been listening. The NBA playoffs. So what happened last night? The big thing I heard was so Dallas Mavericks finally get a win in that series, make it 2-1 as they knock off the number 1 ranked Phoenix Suns as Luka had a big game. It sounds like they stepped up their defense. He stepped up his play. And looks like when they're playing well, they could throw a hard right and knock you down too. So Phoenix humbled a little bit. We didn't think it was going to be a sweep, right? We thought it was going to be a bit of a series there. So let's see if they could steal another game and make it a serious series, or are they just making some noise here before they bow out? And then on the other side, which sounded like an exciting one, with the masked man comes back, Joel Embiid. They come up with a big win over Miami. So Philly picks themselves up off the mat, and they punch back, which I thought Philly was going to win. I personally thought Philly was going to probably steal that one, but not with some injuries. That kind of reversed it. That reversed my thoughts on things, saying, Miami's been playing consistent and well all season long. I know how good Jimmy Butler could be when he's got his killer instinct cap on, because he's tough to beat. We saw him here in Chicago do that. I'm just going right after him here. He's no joke, Jimmy Butler. Miami could very easily win that series, and they're up 2-1 right now. So NBA playoffs getting interesting. I can't believe they took the day off for Cinco de Mayo. That tells me that they're all a bunch of booze hounds. I was surprised they took a day off. That would have been a perfect day. It's Thursday. It's usually a basketball day, right? I look forward to basketball on Thursdays, TNT action or whatever. There's no game. They take the whole day off. What happened to 40 days and 40 nights in the NBA? No consistency there, but whatever. It's not a no harm, no foul. That ball's driven deep. Back. See, run underneath it and makes the play. Nicely done. As we're here on an early morning swing session, the Rick Dog Network doing his thing on the mound after a rough outing at the plate. Here's Carlos Correa. I think the Minnesota Twins are going to be really tough to beat this year. With him being in that lineup, looks like they had some solid bullpen work when we faced them early on. So if they got up early, you're not going to beat them. So that looks like a playoff type team in Minnesota. As I jump back to baseball there, just talking about the Twins. They're good this year. They are good. Is Philly serious? Can they come back and win that? I don't know. I don't trust James Harden. Joel Embiid, the young up-and-coming superstar. He's one of the top 3 guys in the league. I personally haven't really, he's growing on me. That's a ball. I don't know. He's definitely growing on me. There's no doubt. You can't question his talent. For a big guy to handle the ball like he does and do the things he does with it, he's a special ball player. But he also has a very special personality, larger than life. Almost people fall in love with him. Almost like 3-0. Nobody out here. No, stop it a second. I don't want to give in to this guy. So he makes you. I know a lot of people. Everybody in Philly loves him. A lot of people across basketball land love him. That's a good pitch. 3-1. Max Kepler in the box. I just thought he had to mature and take that next step if he wanted to be a winner, which I think he's doing here, and he's done this last season. He's really showed me a lot. So it's unfortunate that he's got. As I go ahead and lose that guy, the dreaded leadoff walk. Ooh, doctor. Because for some reason I don't have my good stuff. Thank you to MLB The Show, where they don't give you your good loadout sometimes. So I'm going to have to battle through here, which I've done before and I'll do again. Can Joel Embiid take that next step and be a winner and be a leader? I think his talent has exceeded his attitude, which is not bad. I think it's been great. He reminds me a lot of a Shaquille O'Neal type. I think it's really good for the game of basketball. It's really good for marketing and young kids and stuff like that. But you want to see Philly win one here. I think it'll happen. You could see it this year. He's taken that maturity step that it takes to have that killer instinct. It's just unfortunate, the injuries. That's another thing he's faced in his career, because he's such a big guy, and his style of play is almost point guard like. It's crazy to watch him do. It's special. but he's got to keep his feet and everything healthy. I know he's got a hand thing and a face thing right now, so he's battling through it. He's tough. He's tough as nails. Nobody questions that. Nobody questions anything about him anymore. So it's just that ball's skied on the right field. It's going to be caught. Quickly gotten back in. So there's 2 down here in the top of the second. So we're talking Philly basketball. I feel like Philly has a great basketball tradition, it feels like, from here in the Midwest. You got your Kobe Bryants, you had your Allen Iverson do his thing, and your Dr. J's, Moses Malone. You had your Maurice Cheeks, Chicago guy. So, you know, there's a lot of Philly. I loved Allen Iverson, so you followed along there. Kobe Bryant being from Philly. So, you just know the streets. Oh, did he get enough back? No, he did not. All right, out of the midway through the second.
One left for Minnesota. We'll go to the
So we're doing our thing here. Can Philly get over that little hump? They're playing a tough team, and it's a tough task. And if they do win, they're gonna have to have it. It's gonna be even tougher in the next series. So I don't think they're gonna do it personally. Let me know what you think. Does Philly have what it takes this season? Am I missing something? They have all the talent. They have a lot of talent. I just don't think they're deep enough, really. After Embiid and Harden, and Moxie, I'm not scared by much there. I could be wrong. I haven't watched them enough. This is just an outsider looking in. I'm just a Bulls fan being a hater. I would really like for that to fall apart and Embiid to come here, right? A couple of those guys. The big guy is special. So it'll be interesting. And then Dallas also has a special individual, Luka. He's able to turn it off and on better than anybody else in the league, it feels like. And he's a special ball player, a special scorer. There's not many. That's high. It's too high, right? It falls down to the left fielder. So they're trying to take me deep here. It's the NBA playoffs heating up. I like the playoffs. I usually, end up. It's tough, like the last couple seasons, the last 5 seasons. The Bulls being as terrible as they have been, thank goodness they were back this year. So it kind of gets your basketball juices flowing. That's another deep fly ball to center field. They just missed it. I do not have my good stuff, but I'm just, I'm getting away with them. So I haven't thrown a lot of pitches. As you take a look at the numbers, I have the 1 walk. Nothing for the Twins. White Sox, good guys. Coming up. It's 1-0 good guys. Bottom of 4. As MLB The Show has screwed me again with my loadouts. So that means my offensive. Oh, look at the play. Got him. Hang a star on that one. They'll give you the replay. I think he barehanded this one. Let's take a look. Something weird happened. Oh, no. He swung his glove. Oh, he made the jump throw. That was nice. So we got 1 down there. So we're cruising along. Thank you for joining me here. As somebody stole my gym bag, and I have not my good stuff. 0-1 to Carlos Correa. I think that he is a little better than everybody thinks he is. As I hung a breaking ball, I got away with a change up there. I think everybody's kind of a hater with all the stuff that happened in Houston. Newsflash, people cheat in baseball. Get over it. He's really good. And him going over to Minnesota makes a huge difference in an organization that's already kind of solid. Like, if you don't know a lot about Minnesota baseball, they're a good baseball organization. It's a base hit. Could cancel the post-game show. The first hit of the game for Minnesota comes with 1 out here in the top of the 4th. I think he's a difference maker, the type of player that he goes to a different team and they automatically become playoff contenders. Carlos Correa, good ball player. As he breaks off my damn no-hitter, I'm going to keep it together here. There's a grounder. Flipped. And rack him up. Double play. midway
Well, the second
through to
baseman
the
made
fourth.
that one look easy.
Nicely
Rotate to the
done.
Shortstop completes the
Yes.
play. They get out of a jam and they end the inning.
Nice. I love the little glove flip. The coaches don't teach it. You only see it in the big leagues, folks.
New inning getting started.
A little
Smith
razzle dazzle.
stands in.
You could tell how good a shortstop is by his flair, right? Or a second baseman, those middle infielder. Professional ball players get so good they start showing off flashes of brilliance. That's why you tune into the major leagues to see
Fuentes back to work.
craftsmen at their
Swing
people
and a
who do
ground
things
ball
with
out
their
to short.
glove better than anybody else on the
Zips it
planet do
across,
stuff like
and
that.
the
So that's
leadoff
why I
hitter
love
retired
watching
in the fifth.
defense in
Well, he's doing
baseball.
a nice job of
More
keeping
than
the ball
anything.
out of the air, lets the
Seeing a
defense
good
work behind
play.
him with another ground ball. Good execution.
I think some of the
And here is
interesting stuff like that gets
Cesar
lost in
Hernandez.
today's
Flying to
baseball. The
right his
highlights, all you
first
see is
time.
the big bombs and stuff like that. I used to watch the Cleveland Indians, watching Sandy Alomar and Omar Vizquel do
In
their
there,
thing.
it's 0-1.
These hitters are
It
gonna
was
have to
poetry in
find a way
motion.
to be a little more
So.
patient, see more pitches per at bat. Otherwise, that bullpen's not going to have to work over there, and it's
It's
going
always
to be
good to
advantage
see good
pitching all
defense.
game long.
On the
His
ground
defense
to
wins
short.
championships in any league.
Sends
Let's
it
see who
over to
does it in the
Sheets.
NBA. Who do you
The
have?
first
I know who
two
I
set
have.
down
It's
in
kind of
the
a
top the
sleeper,
fifth.
even though they've won one before. I'm kind of been keeping it close to my chest the last couple. I've been hinting at who I think.
Next to hit, Alex
Who do you think's
Kirilloff.
coming out of the East? Who do you think's coming out of the West?
First pitch is in the dirt.
It's a high pop
Territory
fly
behind the
as
plate.
Grandal, or whoever the hell that is, floats back and makes the
catch,
play.
and that'll do it. Nothing
So
doing
we're
here for
cruising.
the Twins. They're down
Yes.
1-0.
They just can't hit the ball well. They've been swinging. They've been very swingy. So we're midway through the fifth. They can't get nothing going against
Top
pimp
six,
juice on the mound.
and here's the catcher,
As he's been
Ryan
pitching better.
Jeffers.
Thank you for joining in on the Rick Dog Network as we're cruising along here. We
That's
rode to
in
the
for a
show.
strike.
I played well, a little kind of offensively. My first couple games, I had some home runs and some base hits.
On the ground. Motter
Now on the
handles
mound,
chance,
I realized I don't have my
gathers,
good
and throws to
loadouts.
first.
So
They
every
go
time you get knocked
5-3
offline,
for
or
the
they
first out as the
servers are
third
down, or
baseman
they
makes the play
routine
from the
maintenance, or
shortstop spot in
you
the
always have to
shift.
go check your loadouts for some reason. It gets reset.
Here's the third baseman, Caleb
It's really
Hamilton.
stupid.
It's interesting he plays kind of a
So I'll go
power
double check
spot
my
defensively,
loadouts, and I'll probably
but
open up some
runs
packs
pretty
and stuff
well.
after
So
this game.
when you're looking at that position, you're not expecting someone
Maybe
that has
take a little break.
maybe above average speed. but he
Union
does.
break. But here we're got to finish this one off though. Top of six, pitching well. I don't have my good stuff, but he's a gamer. As that's falling
And
a
it
duck snort.
drops in.
One on, one out. Top
Only
of
2
six,
hits allowed so
1-0.
far tonight,
Good
Boog,
guys.
So I don't think that one will disrupt his momentum all that much. You know, he's really been
As
on
he
top of his
just
game, commanding his pitches
flares
all
it.
night long.
Whatever, buddy.
And now the
We'll
Minnesota
check his speed.
designated
Good speed
hitter,
aboard.
Jorge
They're down by
Polanco.
1. I'll have to keep my eye on him.
Here's the pitch. Runner goes.
Well, there he goes. First
That's
pitch.
it for a strike. Throw to second.
Safe.
Not in time. He's there easily.
So I said I was going to keep my eye on him, but I didn't do it. He went. Usually they don't go on the first pitch. Nicely done.
1-run game. 1 out.
So
1
it's
on.
0-1. I'll concentrate on the hitter. Runner at second. My first bit of trouble as he taps it foul. 0-2. He's not hitting well against righties. Is 0-2 still.
He's gone off speed. He needs to elevate here with 2
Jorge
strikes out of the
Polanco
zone.
at the plate. Kind of a White Sox killer.
That
Good
hits the dirt.
curveball.
And the
1 and
count
2.
1 and
Fish
2.
ain't biting. The leadoff hitter
Right-hander kick steals.
for the Twinkies.
Hit weakly on
There's
the
a
ground.
tapper. We'll let the first
Steps
baseman
off
take it.
first for the out.
There's 2 down. Runner at third.
Well, there's a lot riding on that
Here.
at bat right there. Nice job
So we have a
of
good
pitching
one
the
brewing
big
on
guy,
the
makes
south
pitch,
side
get
of
the ground
Chicago
ball. Excellent
at the
piece of work.
U.S. Cellular Field. what's it called? Oh, sorry, called Guaranteed Rate Field now. They change their name every 5 years now. You can't be mad at it, though. It's a White Sox don't draw extremely well, so they find other ways to get creative about making money. One way is by not spending any money. Two is by changing the name every. The last time they changed the name, it led to a White Sox World Series because they were able to make some signings with some money. So let's see what happens this time. Because now we have some very young players who look like they're going to be superstars here. So we're going to have to open up the checkbook. We're going to want to keep this team together. But first, they're going to have to prove us that we're supposed to keep the team together. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Yes. Gets a fist pump out on the mound from the Rick Dog. He's jacked up as he comes to the mound. One of the young superstars right there who hit the bomb yesterday in Fenway Park that it still hasn't come down. Has anybody found that ball in Lansdowne, or is it's still going up? Up and away for Luis Roberts. It's great to see him do that on national television because he is a young budding superstar. If he could stay healthy, of course. It's always a huge if in this game of baseball. But he's got all the talent and size and strength and speed. Looking like one of those young Willie Mays type players. God forbid I use that name, but that's what he looks like. Can do it all. Say hey.
On the ground, right side.
One down, top of 7. I think a lot of the Chicago announcers compare him to Luis Roberts, which it's crazy, but to Bo Jackson, which it kind of the strength, the speed combination. It's not a bad comparison. But he's much more graceful. Like he doesn't look like, Bo was amazing out in outfield. I don't think. Anybody could do what Bo did. Maybe Mike Trout's out there looking the same, but that's what you got like out of this kid. Looks like a running back out there. I compared him to when I first saw him was Mike Cameron, but I think he's going to be better. I think he has not to take anything away from Mike Cameron. Mike Cameron never, as he came up, is that fair ball? He's running like it is, son of a gun. He just stuck it by the line, a little one-out double. I have to go get is my load out here? I'm leaving. Fuck this. So Mike Cameron showed that type of talent when he first was in the White Sox because he came up in the White Sox organization, kind of. I think we got him in a trade, but he came up as a rookie and then was quickly shipped over to Seattle. But he had that young, like, this guy could be special, which he was. He just never took that step. He never wanted to be a superstar. He struck out too much. He never became a really good hitter. If he was a 300 hitter and he had those power numbers and he played that defense, Mike Cameron would have been a Hall of Famer. But he never became a better hitter. Now you say the same thing about Luis Roberts. He could do all that same stuff out in outfield, be Griffey-like, have that type of power as a center fielder, but can you not strike out 5,000 times a year is going to be the key for Luis Roberts as he dives from his knees. Yes! Oh, what a play. As he saves a run. Oh, no. Oh, no. You son of a bitch. One of my better players goes down. Oh, it's been a tough year for the White Sox. Hey, buddy. Sorry, I'm not deep in. Welcome in to the Rick Dog Network as I'm talking White Sox baseball. Talking Luis Roberts, who hit a huge home run. And how high is his ceiling? Do you know who Luis Roberts is? Have you ever heard of him? He's a young Cuban center fielder for the Chicago White Sox, who I'm throwing big names out and comparing him to like Bo Jackson and Willie Mays, which is blasphemy. Can he be that good? I just want him to stay healthy. I want to maximize his potential.
Now here is Alex Kirilov.
Thank you for joining in. As I slam the rosin bag down. I'm upset on the mound because somebody stole my bag with my loadout. I'm only throwing 89, 90. I'm usually a 100-mile-per-hour guy. But that's okay. I've been battling. I'm pitching into the 8th here. Battling in there. Can I get out of this one? Got a 1-0 lead. Oh, strike one. Got a workhorse on the mound. I have Pedro Martinez pitching style and his hair product in my hair. Thank you for joining in to the Rick Dog Network as we're grinding here on the Rick Dog Network, playing Road to the Show. It's a two-way sensation. Somebody stole my loadout, so I'm pitching with garbage stuff right now. Oh, 1-0 good, guys. So we're wheeling and dealing. I'm trying to talk Luis Roberts up. Thank you for joining. Please follow, guys. I only have and girls, I only have 23 followers.
Next pitch is downstairs.
So, thank you for joining. Early morning, Saturday morning swing session. I'm excited that the Sox won 4 in a row. They're showing some signs of life. You win one more, it's a winning streak. Yeah, we want to be excited in Chicago, you know. Oh, no. Back. Did I give it up at the track? Oh, it's gone. Oh, they kept me in there too long.
It's tied at 1.
Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you. I appreciate joining in as I battled as long as I could in this one, and I think that's it. I think the manager should probably come and get me. Like somebody, I'm out here waving for help. As I was just throwing junk up there all game. As I only have 89, 90-mile-per-hour fastball. I have to go check my loadouts. Thanks, Skipper. I'll give the wave to the crowd. Look at that. I pitched my you-know-what off. Thank you for joining in. Road to the Show. The two-way sensation is going to walk off to a standing O. That's his best performance as a rookie. And I didn't even have my good stuff. So that shows you the pimp juice on the mound. As thank you for joining me here on the network as I'll grab a bat now. As I'm a two-way sensation. Somehow we get the win. So you won't get the L or the... I get the no decision. It was a great win here on the south side as the Sox are sizzling. What do you think? What do you think about Luis Roberts, the White Sox, in American League Central? I don't know. I think they're going to get hot as the weather gets hot here. Oh, I have to go. Forget my loadout. I'll play another game. Let's go get it. Can the Sox pull themselves out of the tank? I think they're going to get hot, folks. I think with the young pitching staff that we have, Lucas Giolito can't talk. Dallas Keuchel sucks right now. Got to get him out of there. It's the young three. Michael Kopech, Dylan Cease, and Lucas Giolito. If they get hot, we have a decent enough bullpen. Velasquez pitched great last night, giving you that's all you need from a fourth or fifth starter. A lot of time you're looking for so much out of a fourth or fifth starter. So Dallas Keuchel will be the next guy up. It's huge to talk about Dallas Keuchel, who's a former Cy Young winner. We're using him right now as our fifth starter, but let me tell you, the last 3 starts I've been really down on him, and it's tough to dog a guy the way I have. But it just looks like his career's done, and we don't. And when your career's done and you're a former Cy Young, they're going to hold on to you a little bit longer because you can't just send him down to the minors, right? Because that pretty much means the end of it for him here in Chicago. So they're doing him a solid and trying to give him a couple extra starts. So let's tune in to see how Dallas Keuchel, because the last few starts, he hasn't had good defense. So let's put him behind the 8 ball. The White Sox have to play better defense if they want to be serious contenders late in this one. As I pitched to Jem. I got the standing O. Now I'll grab a bat. I'm facing elbow. And it's 2 on, nobody out. Here in the second as I'm batting down on the lineup a little bit. That ball's out. Don't help him out. I don't know who the hell this guy is on deck. You know, can Dallas Keuchel save his career here and make one last push, you know, for the World Series? It's what we're going to find out. It's a big outing. It doesn't seem like it, but it is. It just might be his last start of his career. So let's see. And it's tough because you could see him trying out there. It almost looks like he's not but it just has nothing left in the tank, especially when he doesn't get any help from his. It's getting down. It's getting down. Base hit. So I'm going to push it going to second as they go to third. Yes. The stand-up double. It's 2-0. Good guys as we're swinging along here. Early morning swing session on the Rick Dog Network and seeing if Dallas Keuchel could be that fifth start. If not, you know, I think this will be the last start for him. You know, he had one. It kind of started all off this tailspin for the White Sox. We had a doubleheader after getting 2 games rained out. You had Dallas Keuchel on the mound, and we lost the game 10-1, and it was just like, oh. After that, we lost like 8 in a row. So you really need the bottom half of our pitching staff to step up, you know, because the young guys have been doing their thing. We'll see what happens. I'm rooting for the guy, you know. I'm a diehard Sox fan, so you really want to see him succeed. But since he's gotten here, man, it just hasn't looked very good. So I'm swinging at junk 1-1. Thank you for John. Thank you for joining in. Don't forget to follow along. That was a good pitch. Timeout. Please follow us on Twitchlandia, as I'm just getting this Rick Dog Network up and running. Oh God, that was terrible. It's 4-0 good, guys. I have to take a break after this one. Welcome in. Thank you for chiming in and joining in. Somebody dropped a few people in here, I see, because that's the most people ever. Seeing my. That's cool, though. I got a double, an RBI. We're up early. Who are you rooting for out there? Do you think the White Sox are for real? It's always good to feel everybody else's perspective because we're stuck here in Chicago. We watch a lot of bad baseball. There's the Cubs and the Sox. We get excited over anything. So, are we overly excited over a young baseball club that looks like it has a lot of young talent on it? So, we started off the season in a hole, but I think we're going to dig out of it as it gets warm. We have a special ball club. Can Tony La Russa stay awake long enough on the bench? Does he have enough in the tank? Tony La Russa, I'm watching a lot. You watch his interviews. That's a good pitch on the inner half. It's 3-1. He's still got the smarts, it feels like. You know, I don't know if he has the energy. It looks like I feel he's got. I'm going to draw a walk here. I'm going to try to steal second here. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for following along. I feel honored to have everybody here. We're talking White Sox baseball after they won 4 in a row yesterday. Folks, anybody tuning in, up at the top I have my QR code for my podcast that I produce and edit. That was my partner who does it. It's Kimboology. She talks life and, what is it? Meditate, masturbate, what is her tagline? Oh, no, I'm caught. I'm going to get back. I got to get it right or else she'll shoot me. Masturbate, medicate, and meditate is her tagline. And it's just a real chilled podcast. Go ahead and hit the QR code, and that'll take you right to it. Follow along on my Twitch account because I only have a few followers, and we're trying to get out and reach as many people as possible. As I said I was going to steal, I keep lying to you. This man does not speak the truth. We will not follow him. I say follow me. Follow me into freedom. This is a pretty loose account. I've had a couple hecklers. There he goes. I got an okay jump. I don't know what happened. He's safe at second. He's got a steal. He's hair flow on second. Love it when the helmet pops off, right? It's good baseball. Good jump, good steal, good lead, good everything. Got an RBI, got a double, got a walk, got a steal. The man does it all. Such an ass. I have fun playing this game. I really do. I played for a long time. I love the game of baseball. I'm too old, and I only have one arm left, so I can't play anymore. But I love this game. Simulation. As a former coach, as a former player, you could get out and have fun playing baseball. I wish more younger people would play this game. I'm glad that it's on all the platforms now, because as a kind of a guy who loves baseball and a Puerto Rican descent, it's in my blood and want to see the game succeed. I felt it was ridiculous to have this only on PlayStation. You know, I just don't understand what the game of baseball is doing sometimes. Got to market to these young kids. And what are they doing? They're sitting on their ass watching me play this game because they have a Nintendo or something like that. Let them play ball. Especially here in the Midwest, you can't play baseball when it's cold outside. So it's good to have something like this, Madden. Look at the popularity of fantasy football and how Madden has jump-started the game of football. So I think baseball, it's really important for them to focus in on. Unfortunately, it's going to be the fantasy sports and the fantasy baseball and the gambling that are going to bring people back to it. And I don't think the game of baseball is in that bad a situation that the media makes it sound. I think there's still a lot of people that love the game. And I hope they keep it pure and they don't change it too much. But it's going to have to change, to keep up with the times. I understand that as well. I was at the game the other day, and last season I was complaining about all the netting that they put up at the games. I was like, what the hell has happened to us as a society? We can't sit here and watch a game. We have our face in the phone the whole damn game that they have to put netting everywhere. Even when you're going to the bathroom, there's a net here or there. And I was talking shit. But it hasn't really affected the game. I've been to a couple games, and it doesn't affect anything. So, go there, give the people better internet so you could sit there and enjoy the phone and enjoy a leisure day. Some of the newer type of people that want to go to the ballpark. Get the newer fans there. Could speed up the game. The one thing I've noticed is that another thing that I've noticed is that the amount of time that the pitcher spends on the mound, like walking around, grabbing the rosin bag. Oh, that's a good pitch to hit. And I just let it go. There's too much time wasted at these games, and the umpire just let it go. Oh, another hanger, and I come out of my chutes. I'm gonna have to step out and regroup. Speed it up. Let's get people. I don't want to sit here for 5 hours like it's a tennis match at a baseball game. I don't have enough money as a Sox fan to buy $8 hot dogs for 19 hours. Let's go. Let's speed up the game. Let's get in. Let's get out. Let's get people watching. Let's get young people back excited to play, to learn the game of baseball, which is a beautiful thing. I don't think that was a strike, but I don't know what they called it. It's 2-2. Has good speed at second. Now as Adam Engel goes ahead and steals second. He's a great base runner. For young kids out there learning the game of baseball, watch Adam Engel. He's a great base runner, great instincts. He plays great defense. He robs the guy. Oh, he got me as I'm talking. Don't watch me. Watch Adam Engel. That's funny. It's Mr. Gray on the mound, the former White Sox. As you go ahead and take a couple looks at that hack. So we're talking baseball, folks. The beautiful game of baseball, America's pastime. Let me know if you think what I'm saying is ridiculous. Should they wash the game of baseball? Is it polluted of something? Am I missing something here? Can they compete for another 120 years?
Short hop liner,
Quickly. That was just ugly all around the block. I'll take that error. Sorry, Lucas. I'll make up for it on off. I'm usually pretty sure-handed, but that ball ate me up a little bit at short. I haven't played a lot shortstop, so I'll try to make a look at the look from Lucas. He gave me that glare like, you asshole. What was that?
He's kind of an outlier, especially
I will be
when guys
better.
are
I'm
consciously
giving a Tim
sacrificing
Tebow speech right now.
contact to
You'll
deliver
never
power.
see a better shortstop.
The line to kick
Play
the
harder.
pitch.
As you
Out
get
to
another
short.
opportunity. Quickly. Fires it. There we go.
Sends it over to Sheets.
That's
Got
a little
the out.
better. Thank you for joining me here. Talking baseball, talking sports, talking White Sox.
First and
I think we got a
second,
chance
one out.
this year. I don't know
And up next for
why.
Chicago,
I
Ricky
think that's just a
Fuentes.
Sox fan in me.
This
Look at the
guy
hair as
makes
it flows.
great contact.
0
One of
for
the
1.
best in the game at putting bat on
Not
ball.
a good at bat in the
Such
first.
quick
Now I got
hands, and he's gaining
full
pitch
house here at
recognition.
U.S. Cellular Field
There's a good chance
Everybody's
this
here
bat stays in the zone a
to see
long
the young
time, and that
superstar
produces solid
sensation at
contact
shortstop.
consistently.
Thank you for joining in. Feel free to chat away. Ask any questions you want. Don't forget to follow along as that ball's outside. Don't help him out.
Second base, you wanna be quiet out
2-0.
there. Not bouncing around,
He's
not
the young
distracting
rookie
your teammate, the
sensation.
hitter. Make sure that he
Digs
can
in.
clearly focus on that pitcher and that
Waiting
release
for his
point.
pitch. Can I wait back here? I've been pretty excited here.
Pitch.
That ball
There's a strike,
Hoo-hoo.
and it's 2-1.
comes back
Nasty
over the
2-0
plate.
slider there for a strike.
As you
That
see the
tells you he's
beautiful
got a lot
shot of
confidence in
Comiskey
that
Park.
pitch.
The GoPro
Two
cam.
out.
That's
And
ball.
that's downstairs
3-1.
outside.
Welcome in.
Good pitchers make pitches
As
in
it's
big
a Saturday
situations.
morning
Right
swing
here with the
session.
middle
It's very
order,
early
runner
here
in
in
scoring
Chicago.
position. He's got to find a way
Timeout.
for a quality strike.
And time
3-1.
called at the plate. Maybe trying to
Take a
slow
deep
things
breath.
down
I want to
here at a
just
crucial
drive the
spot.
ball the opposite field. Wait
And a
back.
pitch.
Ball 4.
Loaded up.
As the bases are juiced.
Stage has been set for this
One
offense,
down.
Luke. It's all about creating
And
opportunities, and this
usually it's the catcher that bats
Digging
after me.
in,
As
Byron
he
Buxton
did nothing with it.
rounded out
As
his first
Byron Buxton as we
Singing,
fast
you
forward.
gotta
Doodly
appreciate a guy
doodly.
who's this good
I get
defensively.
another shot at
Watching him
shortstop.
track balls in the outfield, it is
Full
beautiful.
count. Nobody out.
On the ground
So
left
I'm
side, 6.
Try to turn 2. Quickly to second. Rack him up.
And they turn the double
Byron
play.
Buxton, the Sox killer, hits into a double play. Thank you for joining me.
Well, a very fast developing
On the
play right
network.
there, no margin for error.
As we'll take
Nice
another
double
look.
play on a
The good
fast
footwork,
runner up the line.
the good delivery, solid work by the Pale
Now,
Hosers.
Ricky Fuentes.
As he digs in
He's
again.
0 for 1.
He's got a walk in the third.
Trying to keep the line
As the
moving.
batting average
This is the guy
dips
you
just a
want
little
to
bit. The
play.
rookie,
Such a good hitter.
the sensation, has
Also
good
flashes
power
power.
numbers for his first kind of half season. Oh, in the big leagues. I didn't get enough of that one. It's falling. It's falling.
Smith makes the grab,
caught.
and that is that.
I'm waiting to see if I could
The
get a
White Sox
clutch at
lead
bat
one.
here.
They still trail 1-0.
Late in this one. As I'll probably have to go check my loadouts after this one. I don't feel I have my good bat.
2 outs, runner at first.
Making excuses. I'll make every
Miguel
excuse in the
Sano,
book
the
if
next
I have
windup
to.
hit.
But the ball's not carried.
Out to
And
short.
I'll just go to 1. Take
Third out, and that ends
midway
the
through the 6th. 1-0
bottom of the
bad
sixth we go.
guys.
4-5-6.
But anybody that was in for the last game
Twins won.
saw that I was only throwing 89, 90 miles per hour. If you've been on the Rick Dog Network before, I'm a power pitcher. I throw 100 miles per
And
hour.
next to hit for the
So
Sox,
obviously the
Ricky
loadouts,
Fuentes.
those
He's got
loadouts
the
are
power,
killing me here
but
on the road to the
great
show.
contact skills. One of the best contact
Not trying to do
hitters
too
in
much
the
here.
game.
I'm just looking for a base hit.
Come on, right here, one time. Here
It's
we
a
go.
full house at Guaranteed Rate Field.
Ground
As
ball
there's
to
a
the
shot.
middle.
He dives from his knees. What a
Tosses to
play.
first.
Oh, my
That's the
goodness.
third
He
out.
robs
Get it
me.
over.
This guy's anticipation
Oh, we'll
is
take
off
another
the
look.
charts.
The
Don't see many
superstar.
shortstops better than that.
I don't have
Great
to
job
like
to
it.
complete the play and end the inning.
His full extension from his knees.
All right, here we
Whatever,
So,
buddy.
runner at second.
Oh, it's 1-1.
Ricky
Bottom of
Fuentes
9.
digs in now.
The
Oh, how
Rick
he
Dog
let the ball get off
Network. You know what? I'm not going to try to do too much here, Ace. It's 1-1. So we already
Now
have
he
one
steps out
walk.
of the box as he asks for time.
And
Oh, big dog, right
Devin
here, one time.
Smizer, the German, on the mound. Hang one for me. Is that slow? 1-0. Don't help him out.
Winning run and scoring position.
Sox.
and 2 away.
Let's go, kid. Get your pitch.
Have a
No
chance to
one better,
come
buddy.
back and win this one.
Tapped softly
Out
on
and
the
around
ground.
one. Gotta hustle. Can't do it. I'm going to go to extra innings. Damn it.
For the White Sox, bottom of the
We have
inning.
the runner
And
at
now up
second.
to the plate, Yasmani
Here's how I
Grandal.
play it out. I don't usually play it out in these situations, but
Fuentes back in
let's
on
see
the
if we
dive.
could win it here in the bottom of the 10th.
Come on, Daddy, like a big dog. Right time,
There's
right
a
time.
Rick Dog
And
at
a
second.
pitch. In the air,
Is
right
that ball
field.
hit deep?
Kepler
Way back at the track. I'll go ahead and tag
squeezes
up.
it. Runner tags at second, and he's in safely at third with one out.
1 out. 1-1 tie here in the bottom of the 10th as you're watching the Rick Dog Network as we have people joining
So
in,
up next for Chicago,
listening in,
Gavin Sheets.
tuning in.
And this is a big opportunity for him to pick up his teammate right here.
Don't want to make any mistakes on the base pass. We're waiting for any sort of
In the infield at the
mistakes
corners, don't be surprised
as
to
the
see them come
shadows
home
start to
first
step in here
and prevent that run
at
from
Sox Park.
scoring. Definitely a strikeout
Sox trying to win
situation
2 in a
right
row.
here. Lots of ways for that
Good
go-ahead
speed
run
at
to score
third.
if the ball's put in play.
Good power at the plate. As it's hit deep, but I think it's going to be foul. As he makes the play, this could do it. Play at the plate. Not in time. Sox win. Sox win. Yes. Nicely done. As they're going crazy. Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness. We don't win too much here in Chicago. We get excited over anything. Oh, nicely done, though.
Extension to put that ball deep enough
Nicely
out in
done.
the outfield to score that run and
As
win this
if
game.
I were that guy, I probably would have dropped the ball. That's just me, though. If you're a young buck watching out there, sometimes it's good to know your situation. There's no way he was going to throw me out, fading away into the stands. But it's tough to make. Thank you for following along. I really do appreciate it. It means the world to me. Because I've been on here for about a month just yapping away to dead air. As they're going to force me to go back to the clubhouse. As I did that, I've been playing my last couple offensive games without my loadout, and it really shows. So let me go check everything and maybe sign on or something like that. Whatever. This game kills me with that crap.
This is early in his career.
All I have to
and
probably
he's
do is
lighting
just go
up.
check it,
He's
and then
causing
it'll all.
waves around the game. We're thrilled to be joined by Hall of Fame outfielder Ken Griffey Jr.
As this is
Ken,
an early morning
see him
here. I'm in
overseas?
Chicago.
Is he a star
Gotta
already,
be
or
like,
are
what
we
time
getting
is
ahead of
it?
ourselves?
7
What do you
o'clock on the dot. Thank you for checking in.
You know, he's having a great year
to
so
Rick Dog
far.
Network,
You
because
know,
I want to
we
make
hope
sure I
that
get
he
to my
can continue.
loadouts here, because
That's
something's
the whole
drastically
thing is we want
wrong.
you to continue. We want you. It's not a sprint. It's a
Load
marathon.
out.
And
Load
you
him
know,
out, load him in.
He's doing some things early, and we're
All
excited
right,
about
everything
it. I
looks
think
good
that's
there.
What,
Do I have
you
my
know,
equipment?
Baseball fans around the world want to see is a guy who is going out there.
Maybe it
playing
was just
hard,
when I
showing excitement,
pitched.
having some fun,
Very much
and
possible.
enjoying the game of baseball. Do we know how long this is going to last? No,
Something
but
wasn't right,
while
though.
we're here, we might as well enjoy it.
Or it could have been my imagination. Thank you for joining in. Let's see what the new loadouts are. I know let's see what it is. Bullet. Off the radar. Power. Speed. What's that one? Info. Let's check this one. I think I got a new one here. Oh, velocity. Stand by. I'm just changing my crap. Kind of like this one. That one's gone. Change it up a little bit. Maybe that'll help. I got everything out. Oh, cancel. Everything else looks good. Everything else looks pretty good. Maybe I could change one of these gold ones. That's good. We're going to back out. We're going to play some ball. We're going to keep the party started. Keep the party going, I should say. I don't think it's the loadouts. I have my shoes. I feel like we're online. Not sure what happened there. Play ball. Thank you for joining in. As we'll actually go down to training, and I don't want to do any work. Watch some video. I see you guys probably have a whole damn conversation going on the other. Nicely done. Way to go. Let's get back to playing baseball, huh? Shortstop. Batting third for the White Sox. Number 13, Rick Dog Network. Thank you for joining. Thank you for following. Saw a couple people joining in. So cool. I really appreciate it. As we could sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way. Good guy. Oh, his first time we played at beautiful, beautiful Dodger Stadium. It's going to be the shitty Sox against the rolling Dodgers.
I'm John Shambi. Singing it might be a launch angle home run heavy sport.
What, in real life?
We've got one of the very best
in real life, I was, if that's the question you're asking. I came from a catching family. A lot of catchers in my Puerto Rican family, so they tried to force me to catch all the way until about high school, but I was way too fast. I ran track and played football. So they would move me. I play everywhere. I was the shortstop, right field, center field. It was pretty good, actually. Could run. I'd usually bat, lead off. I was a pretty good baseball player. I had a cannon for an arm. I'd pitch. I could do it all up to about my sophomore year. Right when you go under the knife. I played football. I had some shoulder injuries. That pretty much shut it down. It wasn't the same. After you can't play baseball and you can't throw, it's just no fun anymore. Especially when that's what you were, like a right fielder with a cannon for an arm. But that was the question you're asking. So I play shortstop here, switch hitter. I wasn't really a switch hitter in real life, but I have the capability. I could hit both sides. So I figured a video game, I play both ways, and I'm a switch hitter. Why not? Let's have some fun. I've never switch hit on this game before. I'm usually just a righty. And then last year, they added the function that you could play two ways, the Otani effect. So I did it, and it was fun. Like, it breaks it up every 4 or 5 days. You get to pitch. And I was a pretty good pitcher. I threw some. There's a reason why I had shoulder problems when I was only 15, 16 years old. It's because if you're a young kid out there, don't throw the junk when you're 10, 11 years old. I had, Tommy John shoulder surgery, all that garbage when I was a sophomore in high school. That's because when I was 9 or 10, all I threw was breaking ball, curveballs, nasty ones too. Thought it was cool. It wasn't cool. That's a base hit. It's not cool. It's not cool to never play baseball again when you're 16 years old. So if you're young, I would stick to the fastball and change up, learn how to pitch before you start throwing the junk. Just a little suggestion. So I got into coaching pretty early. I played a little garbage college football. Was not that good. I was more on the drinking team in college. But I started coaching in high school and stuff like that at a young age. But I didn't stick with it. I kind of got out of sports.
Angle, the runner at third. Fuentes over at first with one away.
6'6". I almost got picked off there because I wasn't paying attention. 6. Yeah, you have no other choice but to play first base, right? Big guy. Yeah, I've been there before. Power hitting, like a Frank Thomas, right? Big hurt. My favorite player of all times. Yeah, I was all over the field. But like I said, I came from, I think the knowledge of my baseball knowledge kind of comes from being a catcher, right? If you ever caught when you were younger, and I had some good coaches, and my brother was a catcher who played a little minor league. My cousin was a great catcher, Puerto Rican catcher that hit him. Yeah. So I think as a catcher, it teaches you the game. As much as I didn't want to play catcher, it was the best thing that ever happened to me as a baseball fan, as a baseball coach, because you learn how to pitch. You learn. I could call a game. Then when I went out there and pitched, I knew how to pitch a game. And then when you're out in the field, it makes you one of the smarter players. Whatever happened, I don't have to like it. These guys make a play. Big first baseman. Yeah, when as a coach, if you're a big guy, you should have tried pitching or first base. Sometimes the big guys could play third base or shortstop. You got a guy like A-Rod and Cal Ripken Jr. Sometimes, and Chris Bryant are big guys. Sometimes they can play shortstop too. You never know. It all depends on your footwork. Are you one of those big guys that are basketball players that, kind of post guys that don't run too well? Then you end up at first base. I'm just judging people from I don't know, but it's weird when you talk baseball. You can kind of know a position of a guy just by looking at him. Like, oh, you're third baseman. Oh, you're shortstop. You're 5'11", 180 pounds. You're an outfielder. But when I was young, I'm 40 years old now, a diehard Sox fan that grew up in Wrigleyville. So I have this weird baseball love for the Cubbies and the Sox, kind of. Even though I was the biggest Cubs hater for a very long time. But you get a little older and you gain some respect for, especially I worked in Wrigleyville and worked in Wrigley Field in the bars for a long time. And just because I wanted to be closer to the action, right? I had this weird energy that drew me to Wrigley Field as a Sox fan. My high school was 2 miles away and my grammar school was a mile away from Wrigley Field. So I was always connected. Go to Cubs games. I'd ditch high school to go to Cubs games. I would ditch school, go sit in the bleachers. That's when I first had my first beer. Don't do this. I'm just telling you a story. If you're younger, you're young, 17, 18 years old, and going to Wrigley and falling in love with the bleacher bums so that's kind of my experiences with baseball. Ooh, Elgin, you got to be a Cubs fan in Elgin, right? Am I generalizing? I'm from Wrigleyville. I went to Gordon Tech High School. The GT alumni. Played football there 4 years. Wrestler, baseball player, blah, blah, blah. I was more of a drinker in high school, too. we partied hard in the Catholic League. That's a problem with a lot of sports. Well, that's the reason why a lot of people don't make it out of the city. One day, so now I work in the film industry. One day I want to make a film about coming up, or how there's Friday Night Lights? I want to make a city version of that. Yeah, I knew you were a Cubs fan. I called that shit. It's okay. It doesn't make you a bad person. I'm a diehard Sox fan, but I grew up in Wrigleyville. I like the Cubbies, and I'm one of the few people, Sox fans, you'll hear say that. I grew up watching Andre Dawson and Sean Dunston and Ryan Sandberg, at that stadium. So there was a good baseball feel, and I watched Wrigleyville grow into what it is. So being a professional drinker, the first, for a while, I worked at the Captain Morgan Club and Harry Carey's Tavern, and I'd be at the ballpark every day for 5-6 years, and just taking in the atmosphere, and I needed it. It's weird. I was still drawn to it. There's some part of me that probably should have been a baseball player or a baseball coach. I believe in energies and stuff you were supposed to do, but I was put on this earth for something different. And there's a reason why I got hurt, and I had shoulder injuries, and I went into a lot of issues when I was younger, drinking problems and stuff like that. Didn't allow me to fully expand my sports career. And that's what happens when you're in Chicago and you're an athlete, and a lot of stuff distract you from what you're really trying to do in the city, in the inner city. There's gangs, there's drugs, there's alcohol, there's girls, so no matter how good you are, there's a lot of athletes that never make it in the city and end up washed away because of stuff that happens. And I really would like to paint a picture of, damn it, as I'm talking shit. Don't throw it. Should have double pumped. Sorry. A lot of stuff distracts you. And I would like to make a Friday Night Lights type of program on what happens in the inner city to some of these great ball players that just never make it. Not that I was great, but I saw some great ones that, I coached some great athletes that got into some gang issues and stuff like that and never make it out of the city, So that's my little spiel about. One day I'll make a movie about it. As I work in the film industry. I worked a lot of years here on the show Chicago PD as a PA, and now as I work as a studio mechanic. We're in a hiatus, so that gives me some time to. That's a base hit, I think. Oh, these guys are making plays all over the field on me. Get out of here. That's like the ninth diving play. Okay, nice play, Ace, this morning. Whatever. I don't have to like it. But yeah, I'm an inner city growing up, ditching school, drink beer when you're 18 years old as a bleacher bum, and then eventually loving the atmosphere so much I get back from college that I go back and coach in that atmosphere, and then work the door in Wrigleyville for another 7-8 years, and then I work in the film industry where I want to go back and capture some of that stuff. Because I'm an AD, I'm assistant director, and I think that when I get my finances up, I'll make my own movies and tell these stories. You'll hear them. So anybody, you're a Cubs fan, you know what happens in Wrigleyville. I saw that firsthand for 7 years. Some good drunken nights, man. Where I can't even say stuff I can't even explain the things I'd see as I stumble home at night. I've cleaned my act up. I don't do that anymore. 4 years almost I've been sober. So now I can look back and laugh at it and want to write a movie about it. Cool. Welcome to the Rick Dog Network. I hope you enjoyed my stupid drunken stories. It all started in the shadows of Wrigley Field. It doesn't help that there's 40 bars around there to choose from. Have you ever been to Wrigley out there? I won't even talk about Sox Park because you shouldn't even go there unless you're from Chicago. You probably get beat up or something like that. Just kidding. That's not true. Sox Park is a great place. If you're here over the summer and it's a beautiful night in Chicago, I would suggest going to a Sox game. But I would first suggest going to a Cubs game if you've never been. Going checking out the neighborhood that I'm from. Going to a day game at Wrigley Field, maybe sitting across the street, either in the bleachers across the street on a rooftop, and understanding and getting to know the way things happen in Wrigleyville. Because you're not, it's an interesting place because you're not seeing the real Cubs fans. Maybe the dude from Elgin. Oh, Sox, I could wake up right now. What was it, Anaheim? I wanted to go see Ohtani play, and I got a ticket right behind home plate. Me and my cousin, I found tickets for $20. So that's a good thing about being a Sox fan is you could go to the game anytime. The Cubs game, you could get tickets anytime. It's just going to cost you. So mostly the real Cubs fans are kind of blue-collared and just like Sox fans, can't really afford to go to the game. But from working at Wrigleyville, you understand that it's a tourist spot, and you're getting half or three-quarters of the park is being filled up by people that have never been to Chicago before, have never experienced Wrigley Field before, or also they're on mommy and daddy's money, the yuppies and the DePaul students and people come in from out of town. I'm literally talking like half the stadium is filled up with people who don't give a shit about baseball. So it kind of makes for an interesting college frat boy type atmosphere, which I was looking for a long time. So if you like to party, you're into it. And even if you don't like to party, I would still go sit in the bleachers for one game and just see the atmosphere, because it's like that every single day pretty much, as long as the weather holds up. Because here this year we've seen that even at Wrigley Field, you're not going to fill it up if it's cold, So at Sox Park, you'll see empty almost all the time because we're not going to go to the game. If you're not playing well, and if it's 12 degrees out, you can kiss our ass. We don't have the money. It's $15 for beer because everybody wants to act like a jackass when they go to the game and get into fights and stuff like that. So everything's expensive. Sox fans are just more blue-collared and And we don't have those fair weather, we don't have the tourists coming in to fill up our ballpark every day. So, it looks empty. That hangs, and I'm a little quick. So I don't even know what I'm doing here. I'm just talking smack. It affects your play a little bit. As I'm facing the big lefty, the future Hall of Famer, the best pitcher in baseball for a long time, which not a lot of people could say that, Clayton Kershaw. So you live out in Elgin, you're a Cubby fan, as I foul off a couple hangers. Yeah, I love the Cubbies. Cubbies are a special team, and they have special fans. They won the World Series back. Here's a good story. I was working on Chicago PD, the TV show, which films in Chicago, mostly on the south side, mostly like in the film studio in Chicago is on 16th and Western. It's called Cinespace. All right, the day the Cubs were playing Game 7 of the World Series, we were filming, and it was raining in Chicago, right? It was raining in Cleveland that day, too, if you remember the game. They had a huge rain delay. So we were filming at the time the game started. So we very rarely ever cancel a film session, because there's just so much money involved in it. There's nothing that's that important for them to stop filming. But that day, the film crew went into a rain delay, so it's very similar to baseball. If it starts raining and lightning, the film crew would just go into delay, and we'll sit there all day if we have to. We'll end up being there 15, 16 hours if we have to. As I got jammed on that one. It's not going anywhere. As we're playing in Dodger Stadium, I'm telling the story about the Cubs won the World Series, what I was doing and what happened. This will give you a perspective of who I am as a Sox fan, but still kind of love the Cubbies. So that day we went into a rain delay. I don't make contact with every swing, and I usually, it's just solid contact for a hit. Because I'm going to step out and gather myself here, hopefully, because he's taking way too long. So we go into the rain delay, and all the camera guys and the directors and the actors, it was mainly Jason Begay, who's the main actor of Chicago PD. Because when you're a main actor, you make the most money, so you usually kind of call the shots. And that series, I had been sitting kind of like on the camera truck and watching a game with him in between, because I'm a PA, so it's my job to keep track of where the actors go and what they do. So he would walk to the camera truck and watch the Cubs game, because he knew it was kind of a big deal. He's from New York. He's got some baseball blood. I think he might be a Yankee fan or whatever. I don't even know. Don't care. But he made a decision. They made a decision to call the day. They said, we're done filming. Everybody go home. Watch this game, right? So as a crew, we got out of there. The game was like in a rain delay, or the game was like midway through. So we all left real quick. We went and found the first bar we could. I was still drinking back then. This is a funny story. I was still drinking, so we find the bar. I got all my Sox gear on, and every bar in the city of Chicago is packed to the brim. It's Game 7. The Cubs are in the World Series. We're in Bridgeport. This is where the Sox park is, and the bars are still full. So I say that the Cubs win this miracle game, right? They win the World Series. Game 7. Storybook stuff. I am getting hammered to the bejeebus, right? Because the Cubs, you have to understand the atmosphere in Chicago. It hasn't been done in 108 years. Nobody believed that this was going to happen, and then here it is. I had to go see it for myself. So now I get drunk at this bar in Bridgeport. And if you know the way the trains and everything works, I have to go back to the north side where the Cubs play, and they won it on the road. So I eventually had to go through the mayhem of Wrigley Field. And once I kind of got through it, it's about midnight. I have work the next day as a hanger, and I don't do anything with it. So it's 1-1. It'll cruise on. Who cares what's going on in this game? Telling a story, people. Hopefully I get a shot late in the game. Yeah, so I'm cruising towards, the Cubs win the World Series. The city is on fire. So I go through the mayhem, and I could see everybody partying in the streets. So instead of just going home and getting ready for work at 6 o'clock the next morning, I tell my Uber driver to take me straight to Wrigleyville. I don't know how to turn it off, right? So I go to Wrigleyville, and I party with them all night. And I don't, Yeah, it was nuts. It was crazy. So the Sox, I'm a Sox fan, and I still had to go. You never thought it was going to happen. So you had to go. I don't really remember what happened that night. It's very similar to the nights where the Blackhawks won the World Series. It's just you go down to Wrigleyville and you just let loose. And then so the next day, we're filming on set. 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm supposed to be there. And I'm usually pretty good. I was a professional drunk, right? I would.
Man at second with one away. Ricky
That's funny. Thank you. I'm a professional drunk at this point. I haven't drank in 3.5 years. I had to stop, so I wasn't really a professional drunk. I show up about 3 hours late to work the next day. And now, which usually wouldn't be that big of a deal, right? I have a pretty good personality. I could pretty much talk my way out of, hey, I'm having a rough morning. My boss, who's my best friend, he's assistant director on Chicago PD. I'm going to throw him out there. His name's Sam Alvello. You can go look. The next time you're watching the credits of Chicago PD, you'll see his name. That's 2 and 1. Who cares? He's a Sox fan, too. He's from the South Side. We grew up. We played high school football together at Gordon Tech High School. And he's pissed because he knows why I'm late, And he's not pissed that I'm late. He's pissed off that he knows that I'm the biggest Sox fan on the planet. And why am I 3 hours late after the Cubs just won the World Series? What am I doing with my life? Right? So he proceeds to suspend me from work for about, I think I got the rest of the film industry is so much like baseball. He suspended me for the rest of the episode, which was like another 7 or 8 days. And he felt like he was doing me. Who cares? I got to party with the Cubs fans for 7 or 8 days, right? Yeah, so I won't forget when the Cubs won the World Series because of that. We always laugh about it. Now we laugh about it, my friend. Now I'm an AD, Now I work as a studio mechanic in the industry. Thank you for joining in. Yeah. It was a special time when the Cubs won the World Series. You have to admit it. As a Sox fan, you really do. When 2005, it was great for us. It was great when the Blackhawks did their thing, but there's nothing quite like 108 years of pure misery. You felt, I told you the story about how I worked in Wrigleyville for so long. When you work there for that long, you get to know the real Cubs fans, the ones that are like the Sox fans, that are just everyday blue-collar folks. Most of them. Some of them have money, who cares? But there's real fans out there. So for those fans, the people that I grew up with, in Wrigleyville, my friends that I talked shit to for a long time, you were happy that they got one because they stuck by a team that hadn't won in 108 years, and that has to stand for something. And I thought it was stupid, and I bailed quickly when I was like 7 or 8 years old. They traded. Remember, they didn't sign, who was it, Greg Maddux. I was a very young kid. When they got rid of Dunston, they got rid of Maddux, Rick Sutcliffe, and all those guys. I was in a family that came from Puerto Rico to Chicago because they were Sox fans. They loved the White Sox on WGN. So me being kind of following the Cubs as a young man was kind of odd. But I quickly understood why they were Sox fans because, we may not be that good as White Sox fans. We may not have won a lot of championships, but at least, every year we were trying to put a good team out there to win. It may not always look very good, but for a lot of years it felt like the Cubs owners, the Tribune Company, embraced losing. And I come from a place where, we don't embrace losing. So I jumped that ship real quick at like 7 or 8 years old, became a huge White Sox fan. And I'm one of the biggest that ever walked on the face of this earth. Maybe a few bigger. Well, that's okay. We'll take you. But I still have a special spot for the Cubs. And that's my story. I could tell you a story about when the Blackhawks won the World Series. And I was working in Wrigleyville as a doorman at Captain Morgan Club. And the next, I don't really remember the nights. So the Blackhawks won their first Stanley Cup in a long time. And they came back. So I was working for Harry Carey's at the time. So when they came back and they landed in Chicago, the first thing they did was party at Harry Carey. So we had a wild night. I don't really quite remember what happened, but I do remember that Chris Chelios was passed out on the couch next to me when I woke up in the morning because we all, you party in Wrigleyville, you just pass out at somebody's couch. And I'm clearing out the tears out of my eyes, and it's by about 9, 8, the sun's coming up at my buddy's apartment on the couch. And I look over, I'm like, is that fucking Chris Chelios passed out right there? This is a true story. If anybody that knows me knows this is a true story. And Charlie gets up and he kind of yawns. He's like, man, that was a wild night, guys. He's like, my wife or whatever, his girlfriend's going to be pissed off at me. He leaves $100. He goes, that's for breakfast. You guys have a good one. And then I was like, man, I never saw Chris Chelios ever again. I'll be honest, if that story really happened, that really happened. I don't make shit up. I have a wild imagination, but not that. You can't make up a story like that. So anytime something happens in Chicago, the place you party is usually in Wrigleyville. So, and that's where I lived and worked for a long time. Stuff like that would happen in Wrigleyville. Chris Chelios. If you're wondering who Chris Chelios, he played for the Blackhawks. You probably know Chris Chelios. He played for the Red Wings, a defenseman, probably the best defenseman of all time. Yeah, but he's known to make his way around Wrigleyville. From what I heard, I don't really remember that night. That there were some other celebs there that I don't even know, like Eddie Vedder that used to party, and I'm oblivious to all this, and I don't even know these things. So, yeah, I had a good run in Wrigleyville. I wish I had a little GoPro on me that captured everything that I saw, because it was nuts. All right, I want to hit a home run for you guys. Right? I usually hit well in Oakland with the green backdrop. This is my rookie season. I have decent. I'm pitching, so hopefully I give up no home runs. This is the great Ricky Henderson on the wall back there. One of my favorite players, sharing a name, Ricky. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's the pinnacle. It was a great moment. But it is. Yeah. I used to say that the White Sox winning the World Series was the greatest moment of my life. But as you get a little older, you understand that there's stuff more important. Don't take it too seriously. As much as I love it, I also laugh about it a lot. Like, I've been known now to just turn the game off in the seventh. And just be like, you know what? I'm just going to assume we won that game. I'm not going to let these assholes ruin the rest of my day. I would suggest that to Cub fans, especially if they played a lot of day games. And please follow along if you're following and listening and chatting along. Thank you for chiming in, everybody. We got Elgin in the house. I am a Chicago boy. My controller is dying, so this will probably be the last game. I have to take a little break. So I've been yapping away. I'll have to go get my cord so I could play from a little longer. He gone. It's a two-way sensation. Hopefully I got my good stuff. The last time they didn't give me my full loadout, and I was only pitching at 89 miles per hour. I usually have the 100 mile per hour fastball. I have the Pedro Martinez pimp juice on the mound. I use the same hair product and the same pitching motion as Pedro, so that's why we get the extra motion on the ball and the extra. Pedro is a badass. I love Pedro. Oh yeah, 99 looks good. Here's Sean Kemp's younger brother. The Rick Dog Network rolling along. I was a pretty good pitcher in my day. I'll take this. I'm the shortstop here, Ace. Thank you. He gone. Yeah, I'll give you a good he gone. Hawk Harrelson, my favorite announcer of all time. It's funny that I get a chance to do this and do his home run call, because I used to do it every single time, no matter where I was at. I'd put on the board. I'd be in a restaurant. I'd be anywhere. My parents hated it. Love me some Harry Carey, too. I think I blame Harry Carey on my drinking problem. No, I'm just joking. I worked at Harry Carey's. I loved Harry. Harry Carey. What a guy. Young bucks don't even know who Harry Carey is. He was an announcer who started off, I think, for the Cardinals way back in the day, like in the 60s. And he was just a great announcer. I think his dad was an announcer, or his uncle, or godfather, something like that. And then he switched over from the Cardinals. He had some famous calls way back in the day. And then he was an announcer for the White Sox, like late 70s, early 80s, and he's just this charismatic, goofy individual. He ended up being like getting commercials and signing Budweiser contracts, and he just didn't take the game too seriously. And then at some point, I think in the mid 80s, he switched over and went to the Cubs, and he was so much fun. He'd be drunk by at least the 6th inning of every game, and you could hear him slurring his words. He was like, Harry Carey, this one's for you, Harry. Because there's a lot of people that fell in love with the game of baseball in Chicago just because of Harry Carey. And the Cubs weren't very good. But you'd tune into his drunk ass, and he would go. He was great. He would do both. He would do the telecast, and then he'd switch over to the radio in the middle. So he was a great announcer. And then Chip Carey is his godson or something like that afterwards. So, oh no, straightaway left field. It's caught. So we're cruising along. We're talking to our announcers that I gave a he-gone call. That was Hawk Harrelson. Hawk Harrelson, I loved Hawk, man. I loved Harry, but not as much as Hawk. So Hawk Harrelson was a former player. He used to dress wild, almost. He used to wear some wild outfits like in the 70s. He was a free spirit, and then he was a pretty good baseball player. I think he had like a MVP or something like that, a hitting champion. He's not great, but good. And then he ends up becoming announcer for the White Sox for the rest of his life. You know, so we had him on for a good, I want to say like 40 years, 50 years. He was announcer for the White Sox. So, but he was great, and you could only love him if you're a Sox fan. Nobody else liked him. We freaking loved him. He would always be very, put it on the board, yes. For years he did that. I loved him. He was good because he taught the game of baseball as he announced. So that's why people like myself or Sox fans have a lot of knowledge of the game of baseball. Because when you watched it, there was a lot of teaching going on. And now you get the same thing as Steve Stone is another very underrated announcer here in the city of Chicago. Steve Stone has babysat Harry Carey and Hawk Harrelson, and now he's announcing with Benetti. Steve Stone, another guy who's could be a coach or a general manager. He's just a phenomenal announcer. So if you sat around and you watched just Chicago sports and you actually listened, you learned a lot from these former players. So you got a lot of baseball knowledge in a crappy baseball city with 2 bad teams.
Right through there for a strike.
Yeah, Steve Stone is a lot. He's really smart. He really is. He's very underrated. He was a good pitcher. He pitched for both the Cubs and the Sox, and he pitched for Baltimore for a lot of years. He was I think he was a Cy Young or a 20-game winner, something like that. I smoke a lot of pot, so the stats I don't know him perfectly, but he was good, and he put up some numbers for both the Cubs and the Sox. But his knowledge about the game of baseball is second to none. You know, you listen to him. He calls a lot of things. He tells you the way it's supposed to be played, and he gives you the pitcher's perspective. Because he was a great one, not good, great. And yeah, so I mean that's what good announcers do. They teach the game, and I was a sponge. I took it. You didn't realize you were taking it all. I'm giving up a couple hits here. It's going to be first and second with nobody out. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for following along. Thank you for chiming in. And even if we have to talk about the Cubs, let's do it. I always have to take a little shot, right? If you live here in Chicago, the only fun part about baseball sometimes is the Cubs and the Sox. Is I have to concentrate here and get something over the plate as I'm struggling a little bit. I'm just spinning right here now.
And it's fouled away.
There you go, 1980. I'm not completely full of shit. I think he won it for Baltimore, if I'm not mistaken. He won about 21 games, 20-game winner. Yeah, you can pretty much say anything you want once you won the Cy Young, right?
velocity, blasted it right past
But a
him.
great babysitter, as he had to deal with a drunk Harry Carey for at least 10 years. Just straight. I think Steve Stone would have been a great therapist. No, he's a very smart man. I don't think he gets enough credit in this city for what he's done and the knowledge that he's passed along, because that's a foul ball. Thank goodness. So you had MVPs, you had, I don't know about the announcers now. I'll be honest. Steve Stone's doing good, but Benetti's kind of annoying. I haven't heard the Cubs in decades because they're on their marquee network. I'm not paying for another team to watch them play, so I haven't watched the Cubs in about 2-3 years. I really just follow along with the White Sox, and now you have MLB The Package, so you could watch outer games, outer network games, but you can't watch the Cubs at all. So that's they gotta kind of fix that. We'll see how they do that. I mean, you already made the money off the TV revenue. How are you going to force everybody to watch? But I don't know. I'm not in charge of that type of stuff.
Don't want to get yourself in an 0-2 hole. You better be ready to pull the trigger on the first pitch.
Everybody's a Cardinals fan. That's understandable. It's because the Cardinals are good. I've gone down to St. Louis a couple times and watched that organization. I have an indifferent feeling about the Cardinals. I like Tony La Russa a lot, and I felt Albert Pujols is one of the greatest players. I even liked Big Mac when he was on it, but I have no feelings for the Cardinals. But the one thing I do know is that they're good, and they're one of the best baseball organizations in the game. And I don't know why that is, but the people running it, year after year after year after year, they find good baseball talent. Yadier Molina, stuff like that. They're always there somehow. So you just got to respect teams like that. And even Minnesota is very similar. I look at them very similar. Kind of a small market team. They go under the radar, but they're good baseball. And the proof is in the pudding. They have the rings to back it up. As he gone, give you a little he gone. Ooh, feeling good. Look at this. You see the? Oh yeah. The Rick Dog Network. Electrifying the crowd. As here is the Rain Man Jr. Siéntate. Yes.
Back in Oakland, bottom four, here's Ramon Laureano.
Yeah, he was. And he's been there from the beginning of the run. There's no doubt about it. He's Yadier Molina, so the Puerto Rican catcher. He's from the same neighborhood I am in Puerto Rico. A lot of catchers come from where I'm at. I ended up being a huge fan of Yadi. I'm a huge fan of any defensive catcher, the Salvador Perez, who is the big guy from San Francisco who just hung it up. You could usually track back all your success from a catcher. You look at all these teams. The Yankees on their run, they had Posada. The Red Sox on their run, they had Veritek. It goes hand in hand.
He's 0 for 1.
Yeah, Buster Posey, he was a stud. And it's very few times you got these catchers that could hit, so.
And he swings and misses.
The Sox have a good one, I think, in Yasmani. We're taking a look at him right there. I think he's good. A lot of people dog Yasmani. But you don't find too many switch hitters, catchers-wise. And I think Benito Santiago is one of my favorite, one of the last ones. But he calls a good game. He's a little slow back there, throwing people out. But then the thing about Yasmani Grandal is he's a clutch hitter. He's clutch. I like clutch. So we're talking Central Division baseball here. As the Cardinals. I haven't seen them play one game this year, but I bet you $10 they'll be there at the end. Streak. You don't like it. Better take it. I was right there, buddy. At 100 miles per hour. As the pimp juice is on the mound. I have that Pedro Martinez, the Dro. Pitching motion. As I love Pedro Martinez. One of the best right-handers to ever do it. Name one better. He gone. Picking up steam as we go along here. Oh, yeah. Here in the, I don't know what they call this freaking place. The Oakland Coliseum? I don't know. We're in Oakland. It's a football stadium. That's all I know.
We head to the bottom of the fifth. Digging in for Oakland.
Yeah, but a lot of times, if you think about it, good teams, if they had a good run, you could track it down to good catching. Goes hand in hand. They're the coach and the leaders on the team.
Inside corner.
Sometimes, a lot of times, a shortstop could be that guy too.
In
'Cause I'm
for a strike.
just mowing
And
along.
that
I
is
like to
strike
pitch
2.
fast.
Quickly down 0-2
Keep
in the
my
count.
foot to the
I think
pedal.
you gotta choke up a little bit, spread out the feet. You
Don't
know what
give
the
'em a chance to
velocity or
think,
the
even if they are a
location of this
computer.
next pitch is gonna be.
Oh, now this one is blasted to right.
You got it all. I was talking shit.
Way back there and
I
gone.
hung one, and he hurt
They
one.
pay for that one, and they're chipping away.
Holy
It's 2-1.
Toledo, whatever. Holy Toledo, he got all of that one. I've been known to give up a long ball every now and then, so I'm still getting used to pitching in this angle. I like pitching from the catcher's angle. It's the catcher in me. It's all right. It's a 2-1 ball game. I'm about halfway through this one. I'll try to hunker down. We'll take another look. He got it all. He leans with it, rocks with it. He just sets it down. I like that. 4:32. So the ball travels here, I noticed.
Here's Christian Pache.
All right. The number 6 hitter took me deep, so I have to regroup the bottom of the lineup. There's nobody out. First pitch fastball. Here we go. Gas.
In there, and it's
Gotta
0-1.
concentrate. I've gotten a lot of no decisions as a pitcher here in my first season. I've pitched well for the most part. As pitching is what got me here.
Next offering is downstairs.
And now I get here and my power numbers have gone up, and I don't know, I think I'm going to be a superstar here on the road to the show. So please join
Next
along.
one misses.
I'm
2
usually
balls and a
on,
strike.
let's put it this way. I'm usually on 5:30 in the morning Central Time, pretty much every day. Tomorrow morning will be Mother's Day. I'll probably take the day off. If there's a big day or a weekend, sometimes I won't be on it. But if I'm not working, which I'm on hiatus now from the film industry, because I'll step off. I want to blow this guy away. I'll be on 5:30 every morning, so tune in, join in, follow along. Mostly talking White Sox baseball, but I know my basketball and I know my sports. So
Pitch is outside, and it's
we saw
3-2.
some good basketball last night as both series moved to 2-1. We'll wait till that gets a little
Next
deeper.
offering
In
is
there. I like
foul
talking
back.
baseball right now. Yep. I'm trying to close this one out, then I'll take a 5-minute hiatus, a safety meeting, union break.
Fouled off
It's a
again,
full count.
and it remains
Trying to
3-2.
bounce back here.
Clearly trying to stay back a little bit longer for that changeup. As he fouls
Rosmani
that
wants the
fastball
hook.
back.
I'm going to give it to him. Can't
They
get him.
walked him.
Well, that's a nice job of
One
bringing
on.
out that at-bat. Saw
Nobody
a lot
out.
of
I gotta
pitches,
pitch out of
and
this
then
inning.
drawing the walk. Very
Think I
gritty.
could do it out there, folks.
No outs.
Hit that follow
Runner at
button.
first.
I don't have too
Stepping
many
in,
followers. I don't know
Cesar
why.
Castilla.
Really good piece of hitting last time, going to the opposite field.
I think I put on a pretty good
In
show
there
here
for strike
on the
one.
network.
There it was.
And
a
I have been for about a
high
month or
fastball
so. I've
in
been.
the zone. I think a little frustration from
So I
walking
produced a
the previous
podcast,
hitter.
which you look up. You could
Good
see the
stuff.
QR code.
Pitch
That's my
inside the
partner's
zone and
podcast.
trusted.
It was just her birthday. Happy birthday.
Left-hand batter waits.
She does great work.
That's
She has about.
inside.
I jump in on the
You may see
podcast
some
every now and then,
movement over there at first base,
but I
trying to
mostly
stay
edit and
out of a
produce. I
double
work in the
play
film industry.
Next pitch misses way
So
outside.
I'm on. Since we're doing the podcast and I have the microphone and stuff like that. Now I'm trying to get my own sports show going. Chicago lighthearted talk, because I think that we take things a little too seriously here, especially in this city. We go hundreds of years without franchises giving a shit about their fans, and we're gonna care and fight and stuff in the stands. Like, take it easy, folks. Let's laugh and have a good time. He gone. That's a big
One
strikeout.
gone here.
Man, it's so
And so I'm
difficult
using the
to
mic, and I've
get
been
off
using this
playing with
platform
that
for the last
pitch.
month or
It's
so
breaking
to
down and in, and you've
mostly
gotta
let
find
out
a
my
way to
White
match
Sox
the play,
frustration
and if
as
it's
we
nasty
you should have
like
been
that
watching
one,
when we
right
lost 8 in a
in,
row there. I was,
sometimes
whoa,
you're swinging over
was
the
that
top and
must see
walking back to the dugout.
comedy TV?
Striding to the plate now for
Because I
Oakland,
went to
Jose
school
Peraza.
for drama. I've been in the film industry. It's in me.
Pitch
So
in for a strike.
starting to
The
get used to
tag, and
being
he's
on the
out.
cameras. He gone at second.
Show you stealing a base is a
The
tough thing
defense
to
starting to
do,
back
and
me up a
far
little
from
bit,
sure thing,
'cause that's a
even with
big
big-time
out.
speed. It's not easy to catch
So
him,
trying to
but
put it
that was
all
a great
together.
catch and throw, quick, not rushed,
Put my
and accurate.
positive voice and influence out there. Because don't get me wrong, for a long time, for about a good 20 years there, I just was just floating through Wrigleyville as a drunken
One
maniac.
foul.
But I finally sobered up and snapped out of it. So I'm here to talk about my experiences in the film industry and the bar industry and
Next offering
coaching.
is down low.
Well, that's kind of what you
short-lived
expect in an 0-2
sports
count.
life,
Excellent
you
job of
know,
the
it
hitter
wasn't really
to have
that
the
good of an
plate
athlete.
discipline
I
to
was
lay
more.
off of that pitch.
I was a good athlete, actually. I just didn't.
Hey, let's go right here.
I didn't dedicate myself enough. You know, and that happens to a lot of young people here in the city of Chicago. That's why it was fun to go back and coach for a few years back at Gordon Tech High School, which is now DePaul College Prep, if you're wondering. It's changed its name.
And a 1-2 again.
And to go back and give that knowledge a little bit to the younger kids,
And a foul ball.
you know, try to have them stay out of some of the issues that you got into was fun. So I like doing that. I don't know why. Even though I was kind of a shithead when I was in high school. Like, do as I say,
That one hit
not as
right.
I did.
Makes
But it's
the
tough.
catch, inning over.
It's easy to have a good time in Chicago in the off season
Back
and as a
here's the
young man,
ballpark. Now the left
especially if
fielder,
you're growing
Fred
up like in the
Kearns.
hood or if you don't have the right parents or
Back to work.
kind of could get
This one
lost
chopped
into
to
the
the
streets
ground,
very
but
easily.
foul.
And you'd wish some of these athletes would stick with the sports, and because we have a lot of good
0-1.
athletes in Chicago, and stick
that's
with the
in for a
sports,
strike.
and stay
He's
out of the
very
gangs and
consistent
some of
with
the
his
shit that you
command
hear
out
about
there on the mound,
in the
consistently
media.
throwing
It's which is
at
really
the
happening. You
knees.
know, it's
Pretty
not.
impressive
You
when a
know,
guy can repeat his
I
delivery
can't
like
sit here
this.
and act like our city's been
Swings through
perfect.
that one, it's a
You know, the
strikeout.
last 4 or 5 years,
And
things
he's
have
down
gotten
on
a little out of
strikes
control.
for the second time
Chicago's
today.
still a beautiful place and a great place to be, but you'd like to see these numbers go down in some of these younger
No
kids
balls and a strike.
staying out of trouble, right? Grab a bat, grab a ball, right? Put down the gun. It's not worth it. It just makes us all look really bad as minorities. And yeah, we have the freedom to kind of do whatever we want right now in the city. Let's choose to do good with it. I know I'm the minority right now because there's a lot of stupid shit happening, but you know, I don't know. Even if there's just 1 or 2 people listening, that
because of that curveball.
like, why? What's the
Ripped to
point?
short.
You know.
Tosses to first. 2 up, 2 down.
But it's happening. Young kids, and I've been hearing it a lot on these platforms. I was playing a lot of gaming, like Grand Theft Auto and 2K. I don't get to have too many conversations with people on here, but I stop for a lot because you get a lot of terrible conversations, which was negative for the soul and a lot of racism. And it's sad to see it coming out of such a young population, and then people don't even know this is happening, right? So now I'm getting back on the platform now that I'm a little bit stronger minded and willed. Just, hey, get the fuck out of the house. Stop playing Grand Theft Auto so much. Like, get some sort of education, even though, you know, society is trying to build things against you and trying to stop you from being smart and educated. Educate yourself, and whether it's baseball or sports or music or dancing. And I don't, you know, my partner's a dancer, so she's not too into sports. She doesn't get the whole sports thing. So there's other stuff out there. But whatever. I'm not preaching. Thank you for joining in. I'm going to take, let's see what time it is. I'll take at least a 5-minute break here. I'll go to watch some of my highlights. I'll be back as quickly as possible. I'm going to grab something to drink and go to the bathroom. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining in. I appreciate everybody chiming in. Got Elgin in the house. It's cool. It was the best conversation I had. A couple hecklers earlier this week. This is good. I'll be right back.
Thanks for stopping by. I'm John Shambi. Talk to you soon.
For the victorious White Sox, 5 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. They left 8 runners on base. For the Athletics, 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors. They left 9 runners on base. Time of the ball game, 3 hours and 6 minutes. Thank you for joining us here this evening. We remind you to please drive home safely.
All right, I'll be back in just a moment here. Little LaCroix break. Holy Sox fan drinking LaCroix. That's them being on set in me. It's funny. Oh, I gotta grab a cord. I'll be right back. I've been playing for hours and my controller's dying. Please stand by while I can try to connect another cord. One day, I will show you my ridiculous setup. Where I have a projector, microphones, and cords coming out of my you-know-what. But we're getting the job done here. You see my face. You could hear me. As we're back here. Welcome back to the Rick Dog Network. As we're playing Road to the Show. Two-way sensation. As we'll play DH here. Welcome in. I don't know what I was talking about. Some rant about. Put the blunts down, grab a controller, grab a bat, grab a something, anything but a gun. As it's about to get warm here in Chicago. So, we all know what that means, unfortunately.
Coming up on the first pitch. And getting to start, Domingo Germán. And Singy, it's unique these days, but he's more of a pitch to contact
Domingo
Germán. He doesn't rely too heavily on the strike.
$20. He's from Santo Domingo. Here we go.
Let the defense do work behind him. And I think a guy like that can keep a good
It's the good guy. It's the Rick Dog Network. Pip Juice comes in to swing the bat. Contact swing for hit a double or better. Yep. I do not contact swing. I only normal swing. I don't ever do anything else. Seems to work for me.
First offering is fouled off.
Is 0-1. 2 outs here in the first. So that's a hanger and a hang with him. Hits it hard to second.
And the White Sox go quietly. Down in order go the White Sox.
Thank you for joining in.
No
Do we think the White Sox will keep it rolling? It's 4 in a row for the good guys. Luis Roberts hit one to the moon yesterday. Do we think Luis Roberts has what it takes to be a superstar in this league?
He's got the power.
I think he does. It reminds me a lot of a guy that played in a White Sox uniform. Only a lot better, I think. Mike Cameron. Oh, stay fair. It won't. I think he's just got something special about him. I went to the park a couple times this season. Both times, I think he went deep. And being there, sitting in the bleachers, as I'm just swinging at everything here. I'll hunker down. I'll get a big hit here. Even in the bleachers, you could hear it when the bat hit the ball. It made that sound, only that you would hear from like a Vlad Guerrero and it really caught my attention. And now I'm just starting to believe that he may be a future superstar. What do you think out there about Luis Roberts? God dang it, and I'm swinging at everything. I'm going to get a hit here, folks. Now I'm pitching well, and I can't hit.
And now, Ricky Fuentes.
It's 1-1.
Not
Top of
great
9.
in the OBP
Again, the
department.
Rick Dog Network.
Well, he's always a
Come
threat.
through in the
Even if this
clutch.
guy is 0
He
for
usually
3 for
does.
the night with 3 strikeouts, he
I
can
hit
come
well
up that
usually here
fourth
too,
time
so
and do
you know.
damage because
You
he's
never
that
know,
good.
people. I'll take a pitch.
First pitch, and that's in for a
Nasty
strike.
sinker.
Well, and at bat can be a little bit of a dance.
I'm
Strike
just
one
looking
here,
for him to
but
make a mistake.
a few more
And
pitches, we'll see how
it'd
it
be
turns
nice
out.
to get a base hit opposite field here. That's what I'm usually aiming for.
And that
As I'm
one's
tardy,
fouled
there's a
off.
lot of room here, but it's still out of play. So it's quickly
And
0-2.
called at the plate.
Struggling now, I
Maybe
feel
trying
like
to
at the
slow
plate.
things down here at a crucial spot.
1-1. It's 1-1 here in the top of the ninth. Oh, center cut. I hit it well, but not well enough.
Right there
It's
is
the deepest part of the
Laureano.
park. So we're 0 for 4. But we're talking White Sox baseball. I'm trying to figure out what everybody thinks about Luis Roberts. What does a Cub fan think if he's still sticking around? I think.
We're in extras here.
I mean,
And
at
now
first
the
I thought he was
DH,
Mike
Ricky
Cameron, but
Fuentes.
now I'm starting to think he's more
Man
like
in
a
second,
Bo
nobody out.
Jackson
Chris,
type,
certainly
Willie
one of
Mays
the
type,
things in his
which
head
is,
trying
I
to
know,
get the
huge
runner
names.
over.
Uh-oh,
Yeah, the way
timeout.
we see the game played today, though,
Even they
guys
can't
are
believe I
not
said those names,
sacrificing
right?
as much just to get that runner
Tune in,
across.
watch White Sox
They're really
baseball,
looking
see
at
if I'm
doing
wrong.
damage.
See how he
Slugging is the
glides into
name of
center
the
field
game.
and see the power, how the ball sounds coming off his bat.
And a pitch.
Ooh,
And a
that's
swing and
nasty.
a miss.
Damn it.
And
Stepping
before
out
the
again.
0-1, he asks for
I would like to
time.
be clutch here. Anything, a walk, a hit. Be dangerous here on the Rick Dog Network. As he's batting lefty, switch hitting
Runner leads
shortstop.
away at second.
Probably playing
But if
DH
you're
right
that
now.
base runner at second base, you want to be quiet out there.
1-1.
Not bouncing around.
As he hasn't
not
come very
distracting
close to the
your
strike
teammate,
zone.
the
Let's see if
hitter.
it gives me
Make
something
sure
to
that you
hit.
can clearly focus on that pitcher and that release point.
Nope.
Swing and
1
a
and
miss.
2. I'm
1
fishing.
and 2.
This guy's got such a
step
good
out again.
sinker. As a hitter, you've got to look up in
Trying
the
to be a
zone,
good
down,
two-strike hitter.
chasing stuff like
Pressing a
that.
little bit here. Not swinging at good pitches. Part of the problem. That's a good pitch. That what? At
Takes it
least.
himself,
No?
And that is a big first out.
Thought there was a runner. I stink. Oh, there was a runner. Get him over.
Well, I love the
And we
fact
win.
they didn't
Take it.
quit. They had
That's
to
what
do
I
a little extra work tonight to secure this win, but it's what you got to do over the course of a season if you want to be a championship ball club.
Yeah, they are.
3-2
I just
final
can't
score
tell.
in
It's
this one. A
there's something about him. I
1-1
keep my eye on
extra
him.
inning
I
win
really do. Like
for
he,
Chris Singleton and our entire outstanding crew
you
here
kind of
at
know it when you
MLB
hear that
Show.
sound.
I'm
It's
John
just,
Sciambi
is he
saying
going to end up being
so
like
long.
Mike Cameron, where he strikes out 9,000 times every year, or does he figure it out? I think because he's got the Cuban blood. He's got good leadership here with Jose Abreu, and I think he's going to be the one that comes out of that club with you got Johan Moncada and Eloy Jimenez, the young guys, who everybody thinks are going to be superstars. I'm on the fence still with Eloy because I just don't think he could stay healthy out in left field. I think he's a DH. Until he makes that move, he's a question mark. Johan Moncada's sweet swinging switch hitter. I don't think he's ever mentally going to get over the superstar hump. He reminds me of Robinson Cano. He could be. That's Johan. But then you look at Luis Roberts. If he could stay healthy, I'm telling you, it looks like Brian Urlacher out there running around. He's just so big and so strong and so fast. He gets to everything so easily. And then in the plate, when he pokes the ball to right field, that was a little too easy. And so I don't know. But you never know. Baseball is a funny game. I'm hoping we have a center fielder of the future. And then
welcome in,
Tim
everybody.
Anderson is
Glad
another
you're with
stud.
us. A
So
great
that's
night for
2.
baseball ahead on the
Johan
show.
playing third. I
It's
think
the
he's
Chicago
a real
White
second
Sox
baseman.
going
He's
up
trying to do
against
too
the
much at
Oakland
third.
Athletics.
And then you got your Andrew Vaughns. We're talking a lot of White Sox. I'm trying to figure out if we're legit or not. I don't know. Tell me what you
Pitch
think.
coming at you right after the break.
23, Oakland
As Nelson Cruz is 78 years old, still playing. Good for you, big guy. 'Cause we're a couple seasons
First
into
pitch
my
coming up.
road to
Our
the
starting
show. I've been
pitcher in this
struggling.
one, Aaron Dola. And
to play.
Siggy,
Look at
we
that.
were
The
talking
young rookie,
earlier
the
about how
dog
he's
days,
doing a
summer.
Great job navigating through tough spots.
Not bad for a rook.
I've just been so impressed with
Haven't played
when
the full
it seems
season.
like
Called up in the
there's
middle.
more pressure. He's more calm and
He's got
settles in. He's done an
superstar
incredible
written
job
all
with
over him.
runners in scoring position.
Wait for
Most
my
guys,
pitch.
they get a little tight. They start
Drive
to aim
it.
the baseball, but for some reason, he gets
Low.
looser. The ball comes
No.
out of his hand with more.
Oh, you got to be
He's able
kidding
to
me.
Wiggle off the hook of tough situations
That's
and get his
terrible
team back in the dugout.
That's low.
The next
1-1.
offering misses. And
Trying
it's
to
a
be
ball
more
to strike.
patient here. I'm a little excited. I have people joining me in on the conversation and stuff like that. It's exciting, people. Not
So now
used to
1 and
this.
2.
Good late sink on that fastball.
I'm getting used
Out
to
of
it,
the
I
hand
promise
looks so
you.
good, and then by the time it gets in the hitting zone, hard to get the barrel
Ah.
to it.
The punch out there. Down on
Now we're
strikes,
officially struggling.
and
at
he
the
knew
plate.
it.
Was that a
Well,
strike?
that's like
Is
the best
that-
two-strike fastball I've seen, but certainly got away with the location there. You know, sometimes
I'll get
as
him.
a hitter, when you're
I
down
promise
in the
you.
count, you're so
Ready to go
I
for
always
the
do.
last
Is we'll
half
put-
of the
maybe we'll
inning.
play some
Here's
defense.
Christian Pache.
That'll get us going.
The designated hitter.
As we grab our
Bounced
mitt,
out
it's
to
a chopper.
short.
We'll charge it.
Fuentes gloves it.
Fire it over to
Whips
first.
it across.
One
Leadoff
down.
hitter gone in the third.
All right, so I think Luis Roberts is going to be the greatest player of all time. He's got good attributes on the game. I agree.
Fuentes. Good power. Not
0
great
for 6 in the series.
the
Usually I
OBP
play well in
department.
Oakland. Not swinging a
Well, they
bat
kept it
well.
pretty quiet in this series. Still
Hang
doesn't
with me,
have a
people.
knock. I know you want to get that first knock out of the way. Maybe more will come.
That's
but you
why,
gotta
'cause
give
they're
some
swinging
credit to
at
the pitching
nasty
staff. They've
pitches.
had a great plan against it.
About
And time called prior to the 0-1.
top of 4. Still got a close one here in Oakland.
One down, base is empty. Fuentes.
Now
tries
that
to
time I
check
felt
his
like I
swing.
swung. So
Now a
all
look to
right,
third.
all right.
No
1 and
swing.
1. Trying to get a hold of one here. Please follow along on Twitch, whatever you're
pitch is
listening
outside.
or following along on. Trying to get my followers up. Just getting started here. I've been doing this a couple weeks. Getting the flow of everything that's 2 and 2.
The count is even,
These
2 and
guys
2.
are on to me. Throwing the junk. Timeout.
Time asked for at the plate, and he gets it.
Got a piece of it. Staying alive. Think I could get a hit here, folks? What do you think?
The pitch.
He gone.
Throw pulls
Safe.
him off the
Nice
ball,
with the
getting
hustle. There's other ways to affect a ball game. Yes. That's very realistic.
And now up to the
'Cause I
plate,
will strike out 3
Yasmani
times in a
Grandal.
fucking game
He's
and
not
get
gonna
on
get cheated
first
up
somehow
there.
and still
No,
cause
he's not.
havoc.
He's looking
That's
to do damage with
what we call
every
Ricky ball.
swing he takes.
In real life.
The
There you go.
1-1. Here's the pitch. Run around the goal. In the
Oh,
dirt.
they got
The
me.
tag, and he's out.
Oh, is he gone? I didn't get the best jump. It's a decent, it's just an okay throw. Wasn't meant to be.
And
Trying
up
to
next
push
for
it a little
Chicago,
bit here. Now
Ricky
we got a chance
Fuentes.
here.
And time called at the plate.
Top of 6.
Maybe
Make
trying
up for
to
all
slow
my
things down here
garbage.
at a crucial spot.
Here's an early morning swing session here in the Rick Dogs world.
No, no race into the series for him so far, and it's clearly been a rough one. You just hope he's not pressing too hard because
Come
that
on,
just
meat.
compounds
Give me
things
something
and makes
to
the
hit.
slump even longer. Never seems to
pretty
help.
good.
Never helped me.
Good pitch. 0-2. 2 outs. Down by a run. Low.
Next pitch is downstairs.
Man, he's
Hopefully
throwing darts
umpires
out
try
there.
to tighten things up a little bit.
Just missed.
Swing and a miss. That one in the dirt.
Struggling at the
Takes
plate.
the strikeout, and that'll do it.
I want that ball to hit me in the
Another
head
good
as he
inning for
dives
him on
into
the
first
mound.
base.
6
What do you
shutout
think,
innings
folks,
now.
as
2,
Sean
3, 4,
Kemp
due
Jr.
up in the
comes up?
home half.
Can I
Here's
snap
Tony
out of
Kemp.
it?
Kearns off of first with
Interesting.
2 away.
Second baseman, Tony. Yeah.
See 1 and 2 count.
Bounced up the middle.
Plays at second.
They
Nicely
get
done.
the force. Play made,
Stretch
that
out.
ends the inning.
Oh, come on,
Look
Rick
ahead
Dog.
to inning number 8. It's the A's 3.
It's
and the
3-0.
White Sox
Bad
nothing.
guys. As White Sox baseball, we won 4 in a row. 1 against Anaheim,
Now it's
2
the
against the
shortstop,
Scrubbies.
Ricky Fuentes.
1 last
Talk about
night
the
on
power
Apple
and the
television
speed
against Boston.
together.
Well, we knew he was going to be a stud.
We're getting a
just
lot of
coming
nationally
up,
televised
making his
games
way through the minor
for a change.
leagues and quickly at this level,
Ooh,
an
he's
impact
throwing
player.
junk at 99.
Jack
That's his
swing went
99th pitch.
around. Going 1.
Well, just
Pitch
very
100.
efficient out there on the
Wanna
mound.
make him
I mean,
pay.
just a great
Still have a
outing.
4-0 lead
He's
here.
just now getting to 100 pitches.
Check
Man,
swing.
I
He
just
went.
can't gauge him.
And it's 0-2.
Hang in there, Rick Dog. Got a piece of that knuckle curve. Throwing junk.
And now
He'll
he'll
step
ask
out
for
again, try to
time and step out of
catcher
the
hates me.
box.
So we're talking baseball, trying to see if the Sox will keep this 4-game winning streak going. Do they have momentum? As that got jammed a little bit, get down. It won't as it hangs up there.
Burns racing over to make the catch.
Is Aaron Nola doing his dog dizzle?
A 4-0
Probably gets the whole game
in this
shut
one.
out.
Oakland victorious. For Chris
I'll
Singleton
go right
and
to
our
the next
entire
one.
outstanding
I'm
crew
ready to
here
swing
at
here.
MLB The Show, I'm John Shambi. We'll see you
Wake
soon.
up this morning here in the city of Chicago to go over. But what do you think? Who do you think is going to win it in the American League Central? I have a feeling the Twins are going to be
Live from
tough.
Oakland, California, in the Bay Area. Major League Baseball on a
Readjust
Sunday
here.
afternoon. It's
Welcome
the Chicago
in.
White Sox going up against the
We're on
Oakland
the Rick Dog
Athletics.
Network as we teeter-totter. 9 games under 500. About 131
All right,
games
we'll
in.
be
About,
back to
so
get
about
this
a
one
month left
started after this.
here in my rookie season. I had been hitting well. Even earlier this morning I hit a home run. But now
So
I
just
find
about
myself
set
in a
now.
bit of a funk.
Starting on the mound in
So
this
we'll
one,
turn around.
Frankie
We'll
Montas.
stay batting lefty.
Well, that whip is just below the league average.
I just
and
wanna
that's
get
a
on
good
base.
thing in this case, not allowing too many base runners.
We'll take the first
on
pitch.
most days, he's going to go out there and compete and put his
Strike.
team in a position to
Two-seamer.
win. And I expect to see that from him.
Because I
in
feel
this
like
one
I'm trying to
today.
pull everything now. I got to change my approach.
Pitch
Hang in there a
misses.
little longer. See the
One
pitch a
strike.
little more. Try to drive the ball the other way. What good hitters do.
Next offering is down
That was
low.
low. It's 2
And
and 1.
it's 2-1.
Let it fly right here.
Center
Put a
field.
good hack on it, but that's going to hang up there.
Laureano makes the catch, and that'll do it.
Struggling. Talking White
One
Sox.
down. Next up for the A's,
Is there
Ramon Laureano.
You know, they're around 500 trying to get over the hump here. Will the weather ever get nicer here in
Out
Chicago?
to short. Fuentes handles.
Got the Latin style club. You'd like to
Tosses
see it get
across to
warm.
First, and Laureano is
I think we're going to
retired.
get hot. That's a nice play by me.
And next to hit for the Sox,
Oh, for
Ricky Fuentes.
10 in the series.
This guy makes
2-0
great contact,
bad
one of the
guys.
best in the game
Can
at putting
he
bat on ball.
snap out
He's
of
got
it?
such quick hands, and he's gaining pitch recognition. That keeps him square to the plate. There's a good chance that his bat stays in the zone a long
Man,
time,
perfect
and that
pitch.
produces solid contact consistently.
Come on, big guy. Just looking for a base hit. That's
Next offer, he's
high
way
1-1.
upstairs.
So the NBA playoffs last night. Joel Embiid comes back.
Swing and
See
a
if that
ball
can get
lifted
down as
left
he's trying.
field.
It looks like he's got that one
No
too.
trouble
As I'm
here. Puts it away for the
making
out.
some bids here.
2
Nothing
away.
falling for me early in this one.
All set for the start of the inning. Stepping in,
Comes
this
back with a
lucky
broken
shortstop,
face,
Ricky Fuentes.
And they get the big win. So momentum swings back a little bit towards
Montas
Philly.
back to work. And the pitch is outside.
I'm not surprised.
Ball 1.
Talk about the right guy at the
Kinda
right
feel like that
spot.
one's gonna
They
go
really
deep
need a
into it.
rally, and
I think
this
Philly's
guy is
kinda
someone
good.
you can believe in
I
and
picked
to
them to win it
find a way
before
to get
some of
on
the
the
injuries to Embiid.
Check swing, but he went too far.
1-1,
And it's
nasty.
1-1.
What's going to happen out there? And Luka gets his first win. Dallas comes up big against Phoenix. So those series just getting started. That's
And
hit
there's a
well,
fly
but I
ball
think I
deep
got
right
underneath it.
field,
Back
way back there.
to track. Oh.
Sit in on the warning track.
Those series go to 2-1. So the NBA starting to, get a little more exciting. Here in Chicago, we paid
All
attention a
set to
little more
start
for the
the
first
ninth
time
in
to
this
basketball
one.
and
Now
last
at the
time in a
plate,
couple.
Ricky
The
Fuentes.
Bulls finally made the playoffs.
Check
Good
swing,
first
but he
pitch
went too
strike.
far.
Starting me
It's
off with the
0-1.
2-seamer. Staying low. They've made an adjustment on me. Now I have to adjust to them. So, kept an eye on basketball. I kind of have the Bucks coming out of the East.
Kicks and fires.
Golden State coming out of the West. What do you think? It's ball low, 1-2. We're struggling this series. We can't wait to get out of Oakland. Nope.
Next offering popped in the air, right field.
A little bit of a big
Makes
swing.
the catch for the out.
And what do you think out there? You think the Cubs are going to snap out of it?
2-0 your
I don't
final
think
here
so.
in
I
this
think
one.
the Cubbies are
Oakland
done.
hangs on to
Stick a
win.
fork in those guys.
They'll be the-
Draw on the car. I'd like to bite righty, maybe. All right. I hear you. Big guy. Struggling at the plate.
Carlos, you once recommended to me that I stay away
thank
from
you for
negative
following
terms
along
like
on the
slumps,
Rick
so
Dog
I'm
Network.
going to try to use what was your preferred
This
term.
is the road to
When
the
you hit
show.
an
You're watching the
unfortunate period
two-way
at the
usual
plate,
sensation.
what do you
Struggling
do
a little
to get
bit
yourself
here.
back on track?
The
I see you're
dog
learning.
days
That's
of
good,
August.
yes. You know, just keep
Put it in
things
a batting
simple.
cage.
See the ball. I
Oh,
wouldn't
yeah.
try to take
Let's work on our
pitches, when you take a
contact.
strike,
Oh,
you just
yeah.
Start tracking, and it's almost like
I
an
think this is so
investment
stupid.
in your at bat, investment in your
But
season.
actually,
You're
you know
like,
what? Sometimes
let
it
the pitch
helps.
go by. No, actually, this is good. We're just trying to
When you do
slow
these little
ourselves
games.
down. You know, calm your breathing
Get your
down,
hand-eye
and
coordination.
Really just focus on
Bad.
seeing the baseball and keeping things simple.
Perfect.
Maybe you do that for a game or two, and you're back on track. And you
Okay.
can be a little bit more aggressive as the days go by, and as
Good.
things feel better.
Solid. Come on. Okay. Good. Oh, missed it. Helps you put the bat on the ball. Perfecto. Okay. Perfecto. Swing and a miss. Perfect. Nice. 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 Oh my God, they're coming so fast now. They have the balls coming at me really fast. Oh my God. Oh God. Oh God. Okay. I could only take 2 balls at a time. Oh God. Oh God. Oh no. Got the silver. All right, so I want to get. We'll go to Toronto. We're on this little West Coast swing. Playing DH. Maybe I could just concentrate on hitting. Try to drive the ball. As we have the switch hitting sensation playing DH. He's a two-way player. The future Hall of Famer. Who you guys rooting out there for? Let me hear ya. Can you hear me? Are you enjoying the network? Do you think Luis Roberts is the next Hank Aaron?
Hello, baseball fans,
Willie
and
Mays?
welcome. We've got
Or is he
baseball
just another
on the
ball
show.
player?
It's the Toronto Blue Jays going up against the
Do you
Chicago
folks know anything
White
about
Sox.
some of these players? As that's the drinking deck out and right. So we'll try to change it up as we
First
throw on
pitch
our
coming your way next.
1980s winning ugly unis. Bo Bouchette. Toronto has a good
Ready
young
to
team.
go? And getting the nod for the
It's
White
interesting
Sox,
to see those
Jordan
young
Montgomery. Chris
dynamic
on the
come
scouting
together.
report.
It's
Very
pretty
dominant
cool
his
how they
last
put the
time out,
team
picked up the
together.
win, only allowed one
Vladdy
run. These
Jr., got a
guys
bunch
would
of
love
young
to see him back on his game in this one.
Players that are
Now, Ricky
children of
Fuentes.
former
Good power.
other major league
Not
superstars. So
great in the OBP department.
struggling 7-0 as we come home. Got some home cooking. So I struggled at home.
Good speed on the base pass.
1-0.
He handles the bat
Trying to
very
snap out of
well.
it.
I wouldn't be surprised if the skipper
Toronto's
puts
only
on some
11
type
games
of
back
hit and run
in the East.
or run and hit.
And now it's even up.
Well, the hitter shows the pitcher that he's willing
Probably
to
right in
go
it.
after that pitch down in the zone.
In a wild
perhaps
card.
he'll come back to it. Still
Can
trying
the
to
Rick
get that
Dog
ground ball double
get a hit
play.
here as he's on a snide, trying to bust out of it.
Right-hander kick steals. And a count
See,
1
yeah,
and
I'm
2.
opening up a little bit too quick.
And now before the 1-2.
Timeout,
time
Blue.
is called at home plate.
We're trying to figure some
Engel
shit out
leads
at
off
the
first with one
plate.
away.
Hey, you got it. No one better. Let's go.
Sometimes I get a little too quick.
Next pitch
As
just
it's 2-2,
misses.
runner at
And
first,
the count is
1
2
out.
and 2.
The Rick Dog Network trying to fight through it.
Gosman
The
throws
early
over.
rookie
Engel dives back in.
sensations hitting the rookie wall here in the end of August, coming towards the tail end of the season. About last month left, about 30 games left. Still looking to drive
pitch.
something. It's a
Got
good
him
pitch.
looking.
He gone.
2 away now. Ricky Fuentes
7-0 bad
steps
guys.
to the plate for the White Sox.
designated hitter, Ricky Fuentes.
Check swing, but he went too far. Strike one.
Everything's at the
You
knees.
drive it. Let's go, kid.
0-1.
Ball. 1-1. Come on.
Runners at first and second
Just
with
itching
one
to
gone.
run out of the box here. 2-1.
Dances out of the way of that one.
Good spot for the hitter. Definitely has the advantage in this count.
As Rick Dog
Runners on.
digs
Look
in,
for him to be
he's
aggressive
ahead of
on this
count
next
for
pitch.
first time in decades.
The 2-1. Tapped at the plate, but it's a foul ball.
Nice change at the knees. It's 2-2.
Hey, one time, right?
2 on.
Cut on and miss. Struck him out. And he's down on strikes.
I'm gonna have to start
for
taking
the
a lot more
second time
pitches. It's the
today.
junk.
Well, it can be
They
so
hear me
tough as a
talking all
hitter
this
to pull
schmack on
yourself
here
out of an
about being a
extended
rookie
slump,
sensation.
one
Now
that
here
lasts
comes
for
the
several
junk.
games, even a week or more. No, right now he's really in
Which
one,
is very
so I'm
realistic.
Sure his mind is all over.
Bottom of the inning, and now it's going to be Ricky Fuentes.
Make him get it up or don't swing at all. Change our approach.
And takes low for ball one.
So we dig in at beautiful, what do they call this thing now? Guaranteed rate field. I always call it Wrigley. Ooh, it's 1-1. Try to see a
Back-to-back
couple
fastballs
pitches.
in. That last one called for a strike. Probably go away, but look for him to
Try
come
to
back in
gauge
there
him.
to try to finish you off.
Let her rip.
Thank you for joining me on the network.
Kicks and deals.
So
And
it
foul
stayed up a little
ball.
bit. I made a good pass at it, 1 and 2.
Come on, big
Try to
guy,
shoot
come
it
on,
out into
buddy.
left field.
Here's a 1-2. Got him.
Whoa,
Picks up strikeout
gone.
number 7.
Well, they've had a great plan of attack from
Ricky Fuentes steps to the plate for the White Sox.
It's welcome to the Rick Dog Network as we struggle in the box.
And he
Yeah,
swings
they're
and
not giving me
misses, and it's
anything too
nothing
much to
wrong.
hit.
Plenty of offense in this one, Singy. I guess you'd
Run
say
around.
kind of what we expected.
1
though.
out. We're getting
Well, this was a
spanked.
game looking at the pitching matchup where you expected offense to score and not as lopsided
Thanks for tuning in.
as this.
So we had some
you
people
definitely
joining
expected
in.
to see some offense coming up.
Here's, I feel like there's a major raid here on the Rick Dog Network. Don't mind it.
Here's the
Please
0-2.
follow along
Foul
if you
ball,
can.
he stays
I'll be on
alive.
every morning, 5:30. Usually
leads
swinging
off
the bat a
second
little
with
better.
one gone
I
in
think
the
maybe a
inning.
little first-time jitters playing in front of the crowd. But it's 1 and 2.
right
That
to the
goes all the
backstop.
way to the box.
Hey, need you right here, one time.
As we're cruising along here, 2 hours and 23 minutes, 33 minutes into the
Righty delivers.
session this morning.
And
That's
another
low. It's
ball.
2-1. Wait for your pitch and drive it. That's not
Try
it.
to get him to chase
3 and
on the
2.
change up that time.
Grandal on deck. You're down huge, so don't want to help him out, which I've been doing
Hey, let it fly
big
up
time
there,
here.
huh?
Try to relax.
And it's second. Swings
Got
and
him to
misses.
change.
2
Just
down.
taking it off
He came out
slower
of
and
his
slower.
mechanics there, typically.
Here in the bottom of the
Oh,
ninth one.
brother.
So up next for
0 for
Chicago,
4.
Ricky Fuentes. He's got the power, but great
Junk.
contact skills. One of the best contact hitters in the game. And he's down 0-2 as he swings
Completely
through it.
off
Well,
balance.
he's been aggressive right out of the box, and a smart pitcher is going to play off of that, especially when you get to 2 strikes.
Next offering
I've been
is
in slumps
downstairs.
before. I could snap out of it.
Hey,
So I'll
need you
play
right here, need ya.
at least until I pitch again.
And down on strikes he goes. That's out
I'd
number
love
2.
to bat righty right about
9-1 is how it ends.
Keep it going.
For Chris Singleton and our
for
entire
Oakland.
crew, I'm John Jambi saying so
for
long
the
from the
homestand.
south side of Chicago.
now. So we'll grab the pill. See if we can snap out of it that way.
And 13 runners left on base.
As it's funny because I was pitching well in the minors, just kind of hitting so-so. Then I get up to the big leagues, which is my rookie season, hitting the cover off the ball the first couple months, and then,
And
but
we
I couldn't
welcome you
pitch
to the
well.
south side
Then
of
it's now it
Chicago
keeps
and
swinging.
guaranteed rate
So
field. We've got
this is
open
the
air
first couple
baseball
times
for
I've
you
done
on the
my
show.
two-way player.
It's the
So this is
Toronto
part of,
Blue Jays going up against the
I this is kind of the stuff that Ohtani has to deal with. You go in a slump offensively, you know, you have to deal with it. So hopefully I have my good loadout on the mound, which I do. I have my good Pedro stuff. Got a good, tough lineup. Enjoy the show, folks. Starts off with a strike. Welcome in. As we're talking Chicago baseball and summertime in Chicago. Have you ever been? What do you think? What have you heard about Chicago? I know not everybody's tuning in is here from Chicago. What are your thoughts on Chicago baseball as you saw the White Sox play yesterday on Apple Television, which is new and interesting? What's your thoughts on that?
The wind and the pitch.
Baseball making the change into the tablet world. Baseball making a lot of changes, it feels like. And as an old head, as an old school baseball fan, I don't really like a lot of the changes. A lot of that's a base hit to lead it off, so I'm gonna have to concentrate. I feel like they're gonna have to find a happy medium.
Just so sound in his mechanics. Hits against a firm front side, and the hands just continue to
I'm gonna have to find my stuff here. This is gonna be a tough lineup to face. There we go.
Now fly ball to right
That's a
center.
good hard
Angle settles
out,
underneath
number one.
And out number one on the grab.
And who do you guys have in the NBA playoffs? Am I crazy? Are the Bucks going back? Or do you see somebody else coming out of these? I don't. I think the defending champs are going to come back out of the East. And as they beat up on the Bulls in the first round and flex their muscles, they don't even have Middleton. But that could hinder them. You never know. As that's another base hit. 2 on, 1 out. As Joel Embiid came back. Got him! Nicely done. That's a huge out, number 2. As he came back, is he going to make a big enough difference where he could get through on the East? I don't even know if he's going to be able to get through Miami. You know, and then can Milwaukee get through Boston? Because they've been, you know, both Boston and Miami have been playing great defense all year. So the East have been kind of interesting. You've been keeping your eye on everything as a Sox fan. I mean, as a Bulls fan. And then they get worked early. And bounced out early. I don't think the Bulls were too serious. And there's a huge talk. This is one thing I'd like to talk about on here. And I'd like to hear everybody's opinion on this one. Is how good of a player do you think Zach LaVine is for the Chicago Bulls? I know the Bulls got bounced, but it's important talk here in Chicago. They're talking about giving him a max contract, $40 million a year, which wouldn't affect their salary cap anyway, you know, because of the, I think they call it a Derrick Rose or whatever. But is he worth more money than Giannis? Like, and a lot of people here want him to be signed. Like, this guy's a superstar. This guy's played 9-10 years in the league. He's only been in the playoffs once, and this one playoff run wasn't very impressive. Why are we going to give this guy a max contract? He hasn't showed me enough. I would love to sign and trade him, but I don't know. Maybe I'm in the minority. What is the East Coast, the West Coast, the other folks, Elgin, Illinois, people from outside of this country that follows basketball? Does anybody even watch basketball anymore? I'd like to hear the thoughts on Zach LaVine out there.
The pitch.
Because I don't think he's that good. Not that I don't. He's not a winning ball player.
Just got to stay focused on the pitch. The runner will be in motion, so something.
He gone.
That's a strikeout, and that'll do it for the inning.
Strikes him out. I'm able to pitch out of it, so I'm not hitting well. Doing my thing on the mound at least. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for chatting along on the Rick Dog Network. Please follow along on Twitch. I think I'm live on YouTube right now. Follow me, the Rick Dog Network. We're talking a little basketball here. Who do you got? And should the Bulls sign Zach LaVine? I would move on. I think it was a great year, but I wouldn't get too tied to a guy who's never been to the playoffs, and then he shows. Oh, that's a hot shot. I'm leaving him up a little bit. So I'll hunker down.
Well, that'll make you feel good as a hitter right there. Got the top of the ball a little bit, but not much. That was hit pretty hard through the infield, so I think he'll be happy with that swing. Definitely generated some good bat speed.
No one down here.
Just checking something out there. As I've been yapping along about Chicago sports.
Swings through that one. 0-1.
See what I could do here with a runner on. Nobody out. He fouls that one back. It's 0-2.
With 2 strikes, may see some movement.
Struggling with the bat.
See
See if I could do my duck to zone. That's a base hit. I might get all the way to the gap as he cuts it off. Hopefully he gets it in towards home. So trouble brewing here. Runners at the corner.
Can help you come out of the struggle. We saw the numbers coming into the ball
Trouble.
game.
That's a good lineup.
All he's trying to do at this
I
point
have
is
to
help his
pitch
team
my way
win.
out of this one. Nobody out. Help is not coming anytime soon. Strike one. What do you think? Can I pitch out of it, folks? Got folks tuning in all across Twitchlandia.
Here comes a pitch.
High pop fly. That'll at least get one in. I'll take that.
He's got it.
Try not to get one over here. Don't.
He's in on the sacrifice fly. And it's
Hold on to the ball, Ace.
That wasn't your standard sac fly. He barreled that baseball. Just
1-0. Bad guys.
Rougned Odor comes up to the plate now. And first offering is fouled
If I give up
off.
one run here, I won't be too upset with that. So we'll try to get the double play here. I'll be keeping the ball down
And the pitch.
as much as I can.
And that one
I don't have my good
wrapped
stuff yet.
foul.
It's throwing hard, but I'm not quite hitting my
Right field.
spots. That stays up,
And a
staying up,
foul
up,
ball,
up, and up.
third base side.
Is Zach Levine the real deal? Of course not, right?
Righty to
I'm not
the
crazy
plate.
on this one. Okay.
Swings through that, and it's
Could
a
dunk the
strikeout.
shit out of the ball,
And there's 2
knock
down.
down a fadeaway every now and then, but when the defense gets tough and when the game gets
Now
tough and it's the
Jansen
playoffs,
in.
he's not even there. Is he gone? It's 2 down. How are you going to give this guy more money than Giannis? That's fucking
Santander
crazy.
Leads off first with 2 down to the inning.
And the media and everybody hears, well, they promised. Dude, look, it wouldn't be the first time. They said that they promised somebody a contract and didn't do the same, didn't follow through. You got to do what's best for your
And it is
team.
2-1.
If you want to sign him to a, I don't know. I think we have, I don't know what to do. I'm not the GM. Is that ball's
Swing
hit
and a
deep?
high fly ball down the right
Down the
field
line, he
line.
kind of sliced it. It's going to get the
Angel
job
makes
done
the
as we're
catch,
midway through
and
the
that'll
second.
do
We
it.
gave up to 1 run.
So they
It's
pick
not
up
too
a run
bad.
on 2 hits, no errors,
So I'm
and a man
talking
left.
Zach
We go to the
Levine.
bottom of inning number 2.
Trying to find out what
It's the
the
Blue
rest of
Jays
the
1 and the White
Twitch
Sox
world thinks of
nothing.
him. Thanks for joining in. Go ahead and chat along.
Welcome back on to the third
Ask
inning.
me anything
And
you
now
want.
Bo Bichette.
I've kind of been
And a
really open
pitch.
about everything this morning.
That misses the zone.
My
1-0.
capades in Wrigleyville, being a Sox fan, my experience about the Cubs winning the World Series and being a
drive,
Sox
that's a
fan is
base hit out into left center
gap
field.
as I'm leaving everything up.
Around first, heading for
What's he
2.
running to?
In
Get
safely.
right. Oh, they want
It's
me
a
to cover
double
home.
and his second hit.
Wasting no time. He's
All right.
2 for 2 now on
Got
the
some
night,
work to do.
And just a triple and home run away from the cycle.
Worked in
Seriously,
Wrigleyville for a while.
We're
so I
starting
got
with this
this
already.
weird
And it's Lourdes Gurriel
connection.
Jr. His
lived
home
by.
and
I
away
mean, it's because I
splits
lived
there.
there.
And that's in
Born
there
in
for strike
Wrigleyville.
1.
That was absolute gas.
Ravenswood
Triple digits on the
Hospital is
gun.
like
It's just a
less than
different
a mile
experience as
away.
a hitter watching that go by.
Sends it to first and 1 away in the top of the third.
So it makes me weird. I was a Cubs hater for a long time. Living in the neighborhood, it was
Here's
disgusting. They
Vladimir
hated
Guerrero
me.
Jr. And he's already singled in this
Runner
game.
at third with 1 out. Trying to see who's up next. Right? Fuck it. I'm just walking this guy. I don't care who's on deck. I want to turn the double play. Yeah. Do it. So talking about my experiences in Wrigleyville and working there, and drinking there, and partying there.
Here's
It's a lot of
Teoscar
fun.
Hernandez.
I don't remember much of it.
Hernandez,
But the stuff I
very
do,
used to hitting in spots like this.
Classic.
Right now, second in the AL in RBIs. And the first
low
pitch misses
change.
for ball 1.
Trying to get a double play here.
And a
1
swing
and
and a
1.
miss.
See if the Dog Network could pitch out of it right here. What do you
First and third,
think?
1 down.
There's
The
number
1-1
2
is
at
caught and missed
101
to the
miles per
pitch
hour.
Upstairs.
So you could feel him starting to get excited on the mound. The energy is starting to go up.
Really good take,
He's
especially
picking up
with
the
2 strikes.
pace.
Next one
Oh,
just
it's a full
misses.
count.
And a full count
Runner
now.
at first and third. I don't want to give in.
Ground
This
ball
is
left
the double
side,
play
could be
ball.
2. Over to
Second.
Torres.
Rack 'em up.
Double play. And
Double
that's the
play.
inning.
Well, we can never overstate
Yes.
pitcher's best friend right
As I
there.
can see
Double
the
play,
sun
gets out
starting to
of the
rise
jam,
here
saves some
in the
pitches.
beautiful city of Chicago. Is this early morning swing session? I'll pitch through this one. I want another at bat, so I'm going to take one more swing at it. And then I'll
Back at
probably
guaranteed rate field. And the
take a
batter
little
is
break
George
early
Springer.
morning. I've been on for a few.
Well, after putting
Thank you
up a
for
nice
joining
inning
me.
on offense, got some
2-1,
runs
good
across, this is
guys.
where
As
you
they
look for
felt the
starter to
energy.
go out there, have
They
a
came back and got
shutdown
me a
inning.
couple
Don't give
runs.
that other team any hope. You just hope that he can get through
As
this
I
inning,
have
get the bats
Pedro
back up there
Martinez
while they're
motion
hot.
on the mound.
Well,
He's
the
my
offense has
probably
gotten
my favorite
going, and
pitcher
the pitcher wants to go
of
out
all
there, have
time.
a real quick inning, get those guys back into the dugout.
There's
so those
no
bats can stay
better
hot.
pitcher to watch. Big game.
Ripped to third.
Backhand. The play. Yes.
Abreu. That's the first
Then
out
Pedro
in the top of the
Martinez.
fourth.
Well, he's doing a nice job
He
of keeping
rose
the
to the
ball out
occasion
of the air,
every
lets the defense
single
work
time.
behind him with another ground
Whether it was
ball. Good
Sox,
execution.
Yankees, whether it was
So
when
digging
he was
in,
in Montreal,
Anthony
whether it was
Santander.
playoffs, whether he was coming out of the pen. He was a special ball player who I think gets forget about a little bit. One of the best right-handed pitchers I ever seen. Not the best. That would be the best pitcher I've ever seen. Nolan Ryan. As
Swing
that's
and
it.
a ball lifted to
Flown out
center
straight away.
field.
Center field. We got that.
Roberts
There's two
makes
down
the
here in the
play,
fourth.
and there's 2 away.
So he bounced back pretty good in this inning. He's got the pimp juice as there's Luis Roberts, who I've been talking about all morning. Did we see the bomb?
here is
Has
Matt
that
Chapman.
ball come down?
And when you talk about elite
That
defensive third baseman, this
that
guy is at the
sweet,
top of the list.
effortless swing that he had. He does it all the time. Most of the time, he gets a home run to the opposite field.
Got to be pretty courageous over there with the way balls come off
We're
the
happy
bat.
here
That's the kind of
in
guy
Chicago
that
with
every
Louis.
year you expect him to be in the All-Star game and have a Gold Glove, if not a Platinum Glove.
He
Out there to center. Robert
hit a home run
Underwood.
yesterday on Apple TV. It's good to see. I want him to get his popularity up and see people to
One,
see
two,
how
three
good
go
he
the
really
Blue
is.
Jays, and our score
The
remains
Sox are trying to get their
2-1.
name out there and on the map. Are they serious contenders? I don't know what other people think. We
Here on
Sox
the
fans
south
are
side,
gung ho.
ready
We
now
think they
for
can
the
win it
fifth
all.
inning. Now here is
Cubs
Rougned
fans,
Odor.
I think they know we're serious, but does the rest
The
of the
pitch.
league think we're serious?
And
So
first
it's
offering
3-1
is
good
fouled
guys,
off.
top of fifth. As I'm 2 hours and 48 minutes into this stream. It's been pretty fun. I've had the most fun
The
I've
line to
had
the pitch.
telling stories about Wrigleyville.
Fought off foul.
I've actually had a little audience, so that's been good. My hitting sucks, but whatever. I'll get better. I'm a rookie. It's
And he'll
August.
shoot.
I guarantee I'll be hitting 40 bombs
That
a
one
year
the other way.
and winning 20 games a year.
Sends it across the first.
Here in
One
this
away
White
here in the
Sox
fifth.
throwback
Pretty good
uniform.
job on the mound in this one, Siggy. It feels like we've seen a lot of
But it's been
off-balance
fun this
swings.
morning, folks.
Yeah, just one free
Call your
pass,
mater,
and,
call your
obviously he's not a
sitter.
strikeout guy, but he gets soft contact
Call
and
everybody.
he
Tell them to
gets
turn
outs.
on the Rick Dog Network. There's one down here. Try to sneak a slider in.
First offering is
I don't have my
fouled
best
off.
stuff, but I'm kind
Starting
of
to get some pretty good
doing
timing
my
on that
thing.
breaking
That
ball, but he's
getting out of
gonna have
that
to stay ready for
that
a
third
fastball.
inning was
Don't wanna
huge.
watch one go right by you.
It's giving me the momentum I need here to power through this one. I want to pitch deep. I just want to make
And a
good
pitch.
starts. I don't care so much about my ERA or
And a foul ball. He
or
stays
wins or
alive.
losses early on in my
Well, he
career.
hasn't
Just
gotten the
want to
result
be
yet,
ineffective.
but it's got to feel pretty confident.
6,
3
7
foul
innings,
balls
keep
in
it
a
under
row. He's
3.
right on this guy.
Strike out a lot. This guy would be a future Cy Young winner.
One down, base is empty.
Here, road to the show, as we're
That
just
one
following
just
along my
misses.
actions. I'm the switch hitting shortstop on the offensive side. I DH a lot. And then I pitch every 5th day. He gone.
Now
As he's
2 out.
starting to get stronger. He's got the pimp juice on the
Bo
mound.
Bichette digs in now. Good
Comes the
contact
young
guy, good
Bo
defender.
Bichette. Young
First
future
offering misses
sensation in this
badly
league,
for
too.
ball 1.
You want to be patient
I
here.
used to watch
Try
his
to work a
dad
walk
play.
if
That's how
you
old
can.
I am.
You've got a big power bat behind you in the on-deck
Dante.
circle. With 2 outs, 1 swing.
Who's a badass.
Puts you right back in this ball game.
And a 1-1. They say
1 and 2. It's getting stronger. Oh, watch out.
And that one moves his feet. Swing, and this one's bounced to the ground.
Just throw it over to first, and we're midway through the 5th. Thank you for tuning in to the Rick Dog Network. Don't forget to hit that follow button if you're on Twitch. Because I don't have too many followers. I don't know why. It's great stuff here. Are you not entertained? I might hit like poop, but at least I pitch like Pedro. Looking good in the throwback uniforms here. Can I put up another good inning? Starts him off with a breaking ball low. He has a 12-game hitting streak. I'd like to bust that up.
He is a professional hitter.
I don't care about your little hitting streak. Oh, God.
On the ground to short.
Over to first. 1 down.
And that's 1 out as they get the
As
leadoff
we're
hitter in the 6th.
top of 6 here in Chi-Town. You're tuning in to the Rick Dog Network.
Vladimir Guerrero
Got
Jr.
people
now.
joining in and following along. I appreciate it. It's been fun. I hope you enjoy it. I'm not having too much fun here. I know I sound serious, and everything I talk about is pretty lighthearted. That's going to be in a dirt. Got a froggy by throat. Most of it. I get pretty serious sometimes when I talk about the city of Chicago and some of the stuff that's happening when it gets warm. But I just want the best for the city and some of the younger folks. That's the coach and the leader in me. So I'm usually preaching positivity, and that's a shot base hit. Can we get him at first?
That's a base hit.
No. So hang in there, Chicago. It's going to get warm here. The next few days, it's going to be 80, 86, which usually happens. Which follows that is a young thugs go out and start causing a lot of problems. So let's not do that this year. How about let's get warm. Let's have a good time. Let's stay out of trouble. Let's not make the statistics nationally with our kill count for a change. That'd be nice because I really do love this city, and I love human beings, and especially the younger generation. I want to see succeed, and especially in Chicago, we're getting a really bad reputation here in the last couple of years with crime and stuff like that. It's not that bad, people. It really isn't. There's a pocket of individuals that are running around right now and making it a living hell for everybody else. So stay out of the streets. Read a book or something. Go on a date with a girl. Treat her nice for a change, or a boy, or whatever you're into. Doesn't fucking matter. Stay out of trouble. I can't believe I'm saying this because I used to get into more trouble, but I'll tell you what, we wasn't making the fucking national news. I'd get drunk and pull a sign out of the fucking ground or something, get into a fist fight and show up home with a bloody lip or something like that, and then go on with my life. Keep it together, Chicago. 1 and 2. 2 outs. I'd like to see us do better than we've been doing the last few years. And I'm just picking up steam here on the mound. I could feel it. And you feel that just energy. As he tries to get him with the slider. It's 2 and 2. 2 outs here. Top of the 6th. Can I finish this one off? The last one I pitched well, and then I gave up a bomb late, which has been in my MO here in the big leagues. The great George Springer at the mound. See, he nubs one. There's 2 outs. I want to get this guy right here, right now. It's a chopper. Easy out at second, so we're midway through the 6th. So pick up the controller, pick up a book, pick up a bat or a glove or a basketball this weekend. Have fun, enjoy the weather. If you get blackout drunk, don't get thrown in the slammer. I'll take a little break. It's been fun. I'll actually take a break. I'm not hitting well at all. Thank you for joining me, everybody.
think this team
I
did
have a
great
barbecue
job
and
of
everything. I
keeping
won't be
the
back
crowd
on in
out
the
of the
morning
ball
because of
game
Mother's
late.
Day. So
When you can do that, it kind of
look for
calms
me
everything down,
Monday
keeps the
morning,
adrenaline of the
same bat
opposing
time,
team down a bit,
same
and
bat
you can
channel.
steal a win and get out of
It'll
here
be
happy.
5:30
And this
usually in
one
the morning
ends with a
Central
final
Time.
score of
I usually
6-4
set up and start
for Chris Singleton and our
playing
entire
around 5:30.
outstanding
So
crew here at
we'll
MLB
see
Show.
what the
I'm
Sox
John
do the rest of the
Sciambi saying
weekend.
so
We'll
long.
see what playoffs have to have the next couple days. We'll talk some sports on Monday. It'll be 80 degrees, so I won't be on that long. I'll be on my bike enjoying life. Thank you for tuning in. Please follow, guys and gals. It's been really fun. Thank you so much. Good day, everybody. I said good day.